जमापुर एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ स्ट्रेस, टेंशन, लफड़े, झगड़े सारी वीडियो को जमा करते हैं। तो फुकट शॉट मत लो, सिर्फ देते रहो।
शॉट देते सर पे सीधा जमापुर, कराओ टिकट सारी वीडियो भेजो जमापुर। कोटी पटेली देना तो भागो यहाँ से दूर, और 10 लेवल पार सीधा सामने से वार सगे ऑफ सारे कार। जमापुर बदले शॉट फुकट चीजों का भी जमापुर। मेरी सोच इन लोगों से पहुंचे ज्यादा दूर, तुझको कल का बहुत पार आज में जी ले तू यार, कर ले यार या तो पार। क्यों करते ही 5 स्टैक सारी वीडी भूल जाते, नुस्ता मचाते भूल जाते, घर के लफड़े जो बता नहीं पाते, खर्चे रोजे बटे जाते, जूते नए लेने हैं पर खुद का कुछ कमा नहीं पाते। मेरे पास सारे खास, मेरे हाथ में नहीं क्लास, है माय ड्रीम्स नहीं ये नींद, बस एक काम का बुखार। तुझे चेंज करना कल तो फिर घिस लाला आज, रो मत बीटी लेते टाइम ही ये जो देगा सब जवाब। मेहनत करते रे मत रुकना, नहीं तू करना मत सवाल, फले मीठा पर ये सफर उससे बहुत ही लाजवाब। सारे रास्ते बंद तब कर देगा वो कुछ ना कुछ कमाल, फोकट वास्ते देने वाले लोग तो बहुत ही ये जरूरी, ठोकर खाकर ही तू लेगा सबसे लंबी ये उछाल। बस कर दे लाला झर्रे तेरे बाल, स्ट्रेस को तू भाड़ में डाल, खुश मिल रहा तेरे को खाने को डाल, रख अच्छे विचार, जाना है आखिर में कंधों पे चाल। टेंशन का को ले रहा सीधा भेज जिसको किधर को जमापुर, कराओ टिकट सारी वीडियो भेजो जमापुर। कोटी पटेली देना तो भागो यहाँ से दूर, और 10 लेवल पार सीधा सामने से वार सगे ऑफ सारे कार। जमापुर बदले शॉर्ट फुकट चीजों का भी जमापुर। मेरी सोच इन लोगों से पहुंचे ज्यादा दूर, तुझको कल का बहुत पार आज में जी ले तू यार, कर ले यार या तो पार। 8 साल का ग्राइंड तब करा शाइन, ट्रेन के खाए तके अबे फ्लाइट एवरी टाइम। टूटा हुआ पीसी पहले लो दे बहुत फ्रेम्स, तभी नहीं गिव अप किया ये पूरा करा मैंने गेम। जितने का था मेरा पीसी अभी उतने का है हेडफोन, नहीं थे नेट के पैसे इंटरनेट पे अब हूँ वेल नोन। घर पे सबको खुशी मिल रहा नहीं चाहिए अननोन है सब, सपने से बड़ा ये सब। गिर गया फिर भी उठ के ट्राई करा बार बार, हर बार रास्ते बनते सारे आंखें नमते मेरे लिए तब राम नाम। रास्ते बनते सारे आंखें नमते मेरे, करना बहुत खाली बच्चन फूक दे रहे, सोच से कल के पर आज ही सोते रहे, सुनते कुछ नहीं खाली बनते बहरे। बोलेंगे अब टाइम नहीं है रील स्वाइप करने में बिजी, कल करते यार आज में वाइब नहीं है, मिलेंगे ऐसे सोचिए बोलने झूठ अपने आप से, तू सिर्फ डर अपने बाप से, बाकी तू कर दिमाग से। और करा फ्री टिकट किधर को जमापुर, कराओ टिकट सारी वीडियो भेजो जमापुर। कोटी पटेली देना तो भागो यहाँ से दूर, और 10 लेवल पार सीधा सामने से वार सगे ऑफ सारे कार। जमापुर बदले शॉर्ट फुकट चीजों का भी जमापुर। मेरी सोच इन लोगों से पहुंचे ज्यादा दूर, तुझको कल का बहुत पार आज में जी ले तू यार, कर ले यार या तो पार। What's up gamers, welcome back to another live stream, welcome to another watch party.
काय रे लोका तुझी मुलाकात आली चल।
Welcome back to another watch party. How you all doing? Hope you guys doing well. Hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful and amazing day today. Your boy is back with another watch party live stream of Indian Economical Times. अरे क्या गाना बज रहा है? हेलो
मेरा कसूर नहीं,
अरे 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 मां कसम जमापुर चेंज हो गया। नमस्ते 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 दोस्तों, क्या हाल है आप लोगों के? इट्स जीई वर्सेस पेपर एक्स। अगर पेपर एक्स को आज क्वालिफाई करना है तो आज जीतना होगा, अगर जी को आज क्वालिफाई करना है तो जी को आज जीतना होगा। Who you think is gonna win? I personally feel आज का मैच 2-1 होने वाला है, 2-1। और जीतेगा कौन? जी 100%, 100% it is gonna to be GE winning। देखते रहो। बहुत लोगों को लग रहा रहेगा कि भाई जी आज जीत नहीं पाएगी, लेकिन मेरे को फुल फीलिंग्स है कि आज जी जीतेगा। आज बैड हेयर डे यार, बैड हेयर डे। चैट बाय द वे, अगर तुम लोगों ने चेकआउट नहीं किया द न्यू मर्च दैट जस्ट रिलीज्ड यस्टरडे, तुम लोग चेक कर सकते हो एक्सक्लेमेशन अल्ट F4 डाल के। 10 पैसिफिक स्टेज पे आया है आज। क्या करने आया भाई? ये पैसिफिक में खेलने वाला अभी 10 इसी का रिमोट की तरह बनता है। हाँ चैट, पैसिफिक में खेलने वाला है क्या 10? सपने देखना अच्छी बात। अरे भाई मैं सपने वपने नहीं देख रहा हूँ, मैं लिजिट बोल रहा हूँ जो दिल से मेरे को लग रहा है। हो सकता है भाई, क्योंकि है ना पेपर एक्स का भी फॉर्म इतना कड़क नहीं है जितना होता है यूजुअली, और जी तो हमेशा से फॉर्म में रही है। दैट्स व्हाट आई फील। आ जाओ स्क्रीन स्विच करे और मैच देखे। Imanji, thank you so much for joining in the Power Gang again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Imanji bhai for joining in the Power Gang again. Welcome back. Love you. पोल डालो। पोल व्हील में नहीं डालता भाई, आज पोल नहीं डालूंगा, क्योंकि अगर पोल में किसी ने PRX को टिक कर दिया तो बहुत मारूंगा मैं। आज ओनली जी फाइटिंग होनी चाहिए चैट में। पीछे 2 लाइट बंद क्यों है? बंद करके रखी है मैंने, क्योंकि बहुत लाल लाल हो जाता है अगर बंद नहीं रखा तो। बराबर चैट? हाँ भाई जी चल रहा चाहिए सिर्फ चैट में आज, ओनली जी। कल का मैच देखा क्या IPL का? क्लोज गया क्या रे? जीत गए ना इजीली वन साइड 14 ओवर वाला। टीम डेविड उठा के पटक रहा था ना भाई। पेपर एक्स ऑन टॉप लिख रहे टट्टी लोग। Haters, bro. We got lot of haters.
PRX. Today marks the do or die weekend here in VCT Pacific, and who is going to be qualifying to playoffs. Now, ever since PRX added in the rookie, Patman, we are slowly seeing the resurgence of the old Titan of this team. However, is it enough at this point with everything on the line? If anything, Global Esports seems a little confident here. They said if there's any day they can take PRX down, it would be today. This is their window, while PRX is still struggling to figure things out.
Yeah, PRX are the fallen giant trying to get back on their feet, and they took that first step last week, and they can continue that momentum, make playoffs today, but they have to upset this Global Esports team.
That's right. Now, we did see a lot of promise from Global Esports since the beginning of this year. We talk about this every single week, that they have a lot of good pieces on the board here, but things keep shuffling around as well. Darren coming back into the roster, and it looks like they're also still figuring out their comps.
Yeah, for sure. I think at the end of the day, this is a winnable series for Global, but they need to hit their peak as individuals. We need to see why a lot of these players were picked up for this Global Esports roster today, because in terms of firepower, some of these PRX players are starting to wake up a little bit more. They're given some of their comfort roles, and they're definitely going to be trying to run it down today.
Yeah, when you're playing against PRX,
time, boys.
you cannot let them control you.
Darian
You can't let them run the tempo.
nah.
That's what GE need to do today, and they need to be able to hold their ground from a firepower perspective.
Bhai, Darian
That's been
khel raha
one thing
hai
that's
aaj?
really missing for this Global team. So if they're able to
Patrick
shoot
ko
back
nahi hai.
consistently
Tu GG
today,
likh de fir
they
abhi
definitely
already.
have a chance, but I don't want to see them start slow, and I don't want to see them get run over by PRX's fast speed.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something that PRX often uses to their advantage, and Global Esports, they should be familiar with this concept by now.
Oh,
we talked about this a little bit earlier. The teams are very
split hai pehla.
familiar with each other. The 3 Filipino players.
I guess we are
Patman
already
and the
cooked,
2
Jack.
on Global Esports.
I guess
with
we are
Khelraay
already cooked.
and Poppy, and also Crystal and Something have a bit of history too. Our 2
I guess we
Russian
are
players.
already
So I think
cooked,
we're going to be
Jack.
having a lot of fun today, whatever the result is.
Yeah, a lot of overlap in Origins, even for like Jemkin, and a lot of these East Russian players kicking around the Japanese scene.
Year bhagane wale bhai, mere ko smell aa raha hai.
To Pacific. So
Patrick का form अच्छा नहीं चल रहा। अरे डेरियन तो घर पे बैठा है तब से।
region of the world, and a lot of familiarity from the tier 2 different sub-regions that you do have. For this game though, I think for GE, I mean, fact of the matter is they're going to have to start attacking side of split. They've chosen that. So while they do need to start strong in terms of like actually picking up rounds, I think it is going to be a slow start to this game. I think their attacking side of split has been very slow, has been a very crawling pace thus far.
Yeah, when we look at the difference between the plan times for these global esports, it normally takes them about a minute and 6. PRX 43 seconds.
Deadlock Khelraay.
You can almost see this difference.
Single duel, single. Double duelist on PRX.
So we'll take a little bit
something on Euro.
Darion is going to be on the Raze. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept, honestly, Yudatan on the Raze, because that's what they played in kickoff.
Darion duelist खेल रहा बनता है.
The comp they're familiar with. On attack, they usually are doing a lot of slower kind of contact days in the mid to late rounds.
अगर कोई बचा सकता है अपने को, तो वो उड़ोतान है. नहीं तो I don't think so.
PRX's style clearly the polar opposite. We're seeing the double duelist.
Something gonna cook this map.
Forsaken taking that.
अरे झिंगा Raze खेल रहा है यार.
Their style is of course much faster. We're gonna see them fighting for that space on the defense, trying to restrict G.
भाई यार झिंगा लिया है भाई Raze. ये क्या cheating है?
The camera, PRX warming up a little bit physically. They're kind of changing up their tempo a little bit, fixing their mental game. This is something that had question marks over.
Score predictions. 13-1. G first map winning. Second map 13-11. PRX winning. Third map 13-3. G winning.
Thank you very much, Victoria Big Time Bilski. Yeah, do you want to pick the playoff spot, Dion?
Me? Playing on the stage? I don't think my vision really permits for that one. I'm happy, I'm comfortable here.
We're comfortable here for sure, but I mean, just taking a look at the agent selection so far, do you see anything interesting?
I mean, it makes sense for Global, for my side of things, having Darion just substitute.
Haters, stop hitting, please! Please stop hitting!
You know, expected here, but on the flip side for PRX, changing it up, you know, used to seeing them float with the Sky on Forsaken, but that seems to go away right now. He's going to be back on towards the Omen, which we did see some good performance from him picking it up for the first time against DFM over on Lotus. So we've got that as the second map of this series as well. Maybe it's just...
मेरी बात सुनो. G DFM के अगेंस्ट जीती कि नहीं? हाँ या ना में जवाब दो. PRX भी जीती, लेकिन टट्टी निकल गई थी ना? निकल गई थी कि नहीं PRX की? मैं उस कैलकुलेशन के हिसाब से बोल रहा हूँ भाई.
Yeah, PRX coming up with this composition where we now see something on the Yuri a lot more often.
And this is do or die time for
go!
playoffs, everybody. You have to remember that going in towards this one. Both teams currently at the 1 to 3 mark with GE opening up stage 1 against DFM, copping the dub there 2-0, but mapless since then. And for PRX, well, they've always got a map in every single one of their series, finally besting DFM as well in that heated third map that we saw last week.
Which is where we come down to this final series and the final week of group stage. Can PRX make it through the playoffs? It all
PRX 2-1, no chance of G winning.
And as we saw,
hater, another hater. Ayush Sharma, thank you for the 40 rupees. It is going to be first map 13-1. Ato glitch bhai ye wale round ke baad.
Play this pistol round to contain this.
Stars around as well, though.
No chance of GE winning.
They will keep themselves backwards in towards Crystal now, who then pushes in towards Vince.
Gets awkward though, doesn't it? You hear the shots, more members up at the big tower. You need to see something big come out from Forsaken.
A bit of a survival smoke towards the top of ramp
for
now.
Shit, PRX 3 marne wala hai 4 seconds.
So far, off towards the wayside on the edges of the smoke though, and he does find the double. Trades out from Crystal, and then for Divine to flush back in.
Abey yaar gaya round yaar, bhai jeeta hua round gaya bhai.
And they will pick up the pistol right off the bat.
Jeeta hua round gaya banta hai.
Going to go towards Global. The fact that Crystal's just kind of stampeding up through the guts of mid, supported with the rest of the team. We've seen Crystal, you know, kind of in majority of the games that Global have played, be topping on the ratings for them. On the flip side, it was Jing who's somewhat been topping completely, besides one for Forsaken to come on through. Yeah, missed around that you look at the top 2.
Almost
makes things a little bit awkward when you feel that Crystal's just done the lion's share of the damage, and then it's Divide to just get some good taps out as well there. A force up from Global is interesting, given by the fact that they didn't actually get the plant down here.
Still going to try to
Kuch bolo?
bulldoze their way through, perhaps.
Hello.
Stars all placed out.
Well, you know that this is such an important game for Global that they would have done probably the most prep that they ever would have coming in towards this week, you know. One game and you can get into playoffs.
Nice. Force by
map pick as well. Right now, just being able to find some
nice
shots
trade, nice
against
trade.
a couple of the PaperX players. Something
अरे ये और मार देगा यार.
with his own Guardian as well. He does feel a lot of contact though, so paranoia sent out. Maybe a bit of support
nice
around the edges of this smoke.
Nice boy.
It's not going to find its targets.
अरे यार, Jing निकाल लेगा.
He does have the Bulldog, but you also see rotations now coming up for Global.
It just needs to be some good shots to come out from Jing at the moment. So far, the force up from Global working a treat, but low HP for both of these members. They have to play this one somewhat together or play for time. Star already on the spike, a grab net available too.
They are cooked.
Possibly to even play for range. Jing though, looking to close in the distance for now. It's an easy shot for Khelraay to bring one round back up on the board.
तुम्हारा आगे चल रहा था.
There, unfortunately, but it would have been funny if Jing was able to find that one. You can criticize the buy up, the force up, all you want from Global, but they make those stingers sing, that is for sure.
W round.
Something not able to get it done with the Guardian nor Forsaken, really. And then it's again just through the smokes where you think that PaperX have a player in the right position, but Sheriff versus Stinger not going to work out there.
1-0, let's go, lock in.
This is where you're going to have some good decision making from PaperX on this defensive side
1-0. 39,
have an answer
38,
back, if not this
37,
round, the round after.
36,
33, 32, 31.
एक सेकंड आगे हो तुम, तो एक सेकंड बाद रिएक्शन दो.
Well, they're gonna attempt at peeking out though. Tripwires across.
क्या करते हो Patman?
This is risky for Patman because I mean he's got the gun and he's by himself as a fade. It's not generally a situation that you would look to see someone pretty self-sufficient in. You know, we see once upon a time Forsaken going for a lot of those plays with the bird when playing on the sky.
समझ गया कि मैं कौन से
एक सेकंड के लिए मैं भूल गया मैं कौन से साइड पे हूं. The comp that they are playing.
गद्दार मत लिखो यार, मैं भूल गया था.
Refill the space that their teammate has just fallen, so Shrouded steps over the trip.
Yeah, but is it going to do too much, honestly, right? You just need to see something big come out from Divide if they go up through towards Mail, but if not, it's just going to be something. One blind side. He's got the fake out clone as well available, which is actually going to get sent pretty early here.
Yeah, not much to really stall, but I think one big point would be the dark cover that Forsaken just sent out. I do believe Yudotan just noted it.
Now they're all contained. Look at that. That's numbers for Forsaken.
Sub blind.
Back in as well. He still has to contend with all 4 of them, though. He's the only one holding the angle. Actually,
we are so cooked.
They're rotating. This is risky.
To go through the mail.
Shit. Oh, nice.
The Prowler as well, but Divide looks to get ahead of it. Does find the first shot. Paint shells out from Jing now.
Bro, they are cooked, bhai. The spike is down.
Forsaken now coming back in from bottom mid. Spots up Poppy, and even though Poppy can still find some shots, it's 10 seconds left. Right, Komodo. The spike on the ground.
Yeah, that's some really ill decision making to come through from Global, but you flip it on its head, and that's some great decision making from PaperX. They have a bit of an overstep in the beginning from Patman, but apart from that, everything is just pretty clinical, right? You've got time being bought from something on the side itself with the clone. You've got them.
तू कौन है? आज हम बोलते हैं.
First kill and the paranoia goes out. GE are really locked and contained in Garage. They don't know how many members are exactly on that B site ready, and with sub 30 seconds, it's very difficult to try and get into the site like that. Great round to come out from PaperX to now bring some stability back to this defensive side.
Still got those kills as well. GE still able to buy up somewhat. Look to push in towards B this time.
Just down on the timing. Again, an emphasis on mid from a bit of this util, but an off angle for Forsaken.
Nice.
Punished by Darian.
Gotta remember, he is relatively new to this Omen role too. Has to configure a lot of the timings almost mid-map.
The angle's still somewhat exposed. That said, though, Jing will happily take a kill against Yudotan down middle, but it's also the spike and the site, you know, somewhat granted to Global Esports.
Jing might look to just satchel in with the judge.
Oh, and क्या बात है, pull up alongside the Prowler. The range not quite there, so Crystal still able to trade. For Patman to trade right back.
Yeah, that judge, you think you might not be able to deliver on too much there, unfortunately, but when you've got your team all surrounding the site and you can kind of just get sent in and your team can pick up the scraps if you do need. It's a close quarters gun, but it's got some range towards it, and the damage was delivered there, so it's another round, this time in succession for PaperX. Gotta say,
nice
Darion,
shot. Beautiful.
If you're able to get activated really early on this attacking side, it has to bring some confidence to Global. Considering that him and Patrick Hu have kind of, almost been non-existent in its entirety of this stage, right? They're kind of sitting at the lowest in overall duelist stats at the moment. So if you're wanting to see somebody step up a little bit for Global, in my mind, Darion stepping up is going to be an absolute net bonus for them because Crystal's already been really good, Yudotan's already been pretty good, Khelraay has as well, right? So if you got another piece that is stepping up,
चलो भाई लोग finally buy round देखने मिल रहा है.
It's been that 3 core and also the best possible stage for Darren to do it right now. You know, we've been talking about Crystal and having some familiarity. Darion being coming from the Singaporean scene, you know, having that experience from Bleed as well. He's quite familiar with some of these PaperX players too, so that should give him some confidence. That's it. We're slowing things down.
Yeah, but the problem is when you're not running this Sentinel as PaperX, you have to just be very proficient around your info gathering around the map, and that doesn't work out.
बढ़िया entry ray Darion. Let's go! Let's go! Skate totty मेरी.
You got Paint Shells to continue pushing PaperX off space, but Jing happy to go for this fight against Darren. More confidence coming up from PaperX.
He's got Showstopper but no satchels, so it'll be a scare tactic, or you got to get close already.
Okay, Crystal is close, however. It does set the Nightfall as well, just to keep PaperX away.
And you got this flank being watched by something.
Flank
it's a little bit apparent that Papi might be coming for it. Keep an eye on that one.
Still got to watch out for the possible timed peaks. Crystal still watching off towards elbow, but here comes Jing with a huge party. It does blow up in Crystal's face, but then for the global esports players to continue holding, that's when the lurk comes up. You got a player up over by Rams as well. To watch for it. Jing still sticking onto the spike though. It's a grab net. It's annihilation. It gets Jing off halfway. By global.
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna put my hat in the ring here. I don't know if that gravity well was bait to just keep them in the spike itself, even on the defuse, ready with the annihilation. Because you're usually using them to pull them off the defuse, right? That didn't work. He's still able to stick it there. And to be fair, Jing really gets the full defuse before that annihilation came out. There could have been an awkward result there for Global at the end of it. But I got to say, the beginning stages for them, mid is a little bit untenable in positions. You pivot over towards the A site. Batman's caught out in the open, none the wiser. And you're getting into the site. You're setting yourselves up. You've got a flank. Like, these are some really good things to come through from Global there.
And you mentioned, you know, you needed to see Darren step up, and he did just that in that previous round. What happens
beautiful
about this
Darion,
round,
beautiful.
PaperX now
Love
noting
you.
that they need information, so you see them beginning to peek out into garage a little bit more.
Yeah, but an adjustment at the moment as well from Global. Just slow and steady. You've got a little bit more eyes on garage this time with Papi just holding about. But an operator for something and Forsaken in tow. How confident are they that they want to remain around garage? You've now got something on the line. And he's got the opener as well. No smokes on a map like Split. Quack can get awkward.
Nice try.
Awkward is one way to put it. And Jing will just, well, if you have social anxiety, now this is not the scenario that you want to be in. 3 players left. They still got to try, though. Darren does have a showstopper as well.
You got to cut some corners here as Global. You need to at least find a free gimme, you'd think, a pre-fire on towards something who's still holding the garage line. If you're shouldering this one slowly, it's not going to work out, and Darion falls.
But yes, that will be something very much still controlling the sightline down B.
Yeah, and we did hear it earlier on from Mr.
वो कौन सा player है जो बहुत danger op चलाता है?
Global esports to try and get into these sites, to try and get a plant. It takes over a minute 10, essentially, for this B site before they look to get in. But this time, well, they're not breaking down.
सेव करो अच्छी बात है 2 जन हंट करने आ रहे बे नहीं दोनों को मारेगा वन टाइम मेरे को पता है
Wriggle on this attacking side. It's not working out. These kills are almost inconsequential in terms of the rounds. But a couple of extra ulti orbs, I mean, you'll take that as Crystal to get closer to a Nightfall.
Yeah,
जीतने वाला है ये मैच.
Still gotta keep an eye on that.
And you'll play with the economy, most importantly for PaperX, right? They've not built up a lot of their credits at the moment. They're gonna have to do some quick maths and quick allocation on what weapons they still want to be purchasing.
अरे famous की बात कर रहा हूँ भाई boom वाले की.
Coming out into this next round, sorry, an outlaw into this next round because you've lost the operator now, of course.
Precisely, which does kind of, you know, mean that you're going to lose some control as well. You're not going to be able to push up into B again.
If Crystal's going first, or
Darion भाई कुछ कर दो यार.
Outlaw is going to finish them off quite quickly. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to switch in towards a bit of a rotating scenario here as PaperX because you've got the dimensional drift, you've got from the shadows. What else you've got is another line deep being held by something. Other side of the map
PRX
this time,
is
supported
emotion.
by Patman, supported by King.
हग रहे
Now you can fall off.
जी घर का
Kind
खेती
of
है
stave off Global from going into this B site because they're all getting ready outside garage. Sonic sensor popped. In case any pushes do happen later on.
Which ain't too bad. Petman does have the Nightfall now also because he picked up that Althorp, so
अरे लास्ट राउंड का क्रिस्टल ने उठाया था डेरियन को दिया है
some time for PACIFIC around the B site.
And the onus is kind of on Global Esports right now. Where do they want to try and transition to finish off this round? If it's going to be towards the Bravo site, well, there's 4 members there of PACIFIC.
Well, G trying
भाई
to
बी पे 4 जन क्यों है
tactical with
स्ट्रीम
their
स्नाइपर्स
approach, you know, trying to suss out as much of these positions as possible with the Prowlers.
Spotted out something, pushed up through main. They want to pivot in towards the A side.
ये गंदा हो
The worst.
अरे
Oh,
यार
but the judge and Jing as well, just to hold it down pat. Linear angles, and it's the paranoia that flushes Khelraay all the way to garage.
भाई ये लोग का
Petman
वार्म अप
holding
हो गया
down
बनता है
B
अभी
as well. The Outlaw getting taken out by Yudotan though, so possibly we got an alpha plant.
Yeah, but the thing is, Forsaken, if he takes the one-on-one duel here, it could upset the whole round with Khelraay running a marathon towards the site. PACIFIC beat them here to the site before the spike even gets here. They don't have to wait for a plan here. They could recognize by timing that Khelraay has to go for the plant, and it's just unachievable now. This is another round where Global are too slow.
कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है भाई होते रहता है चलता है एंटी
Really appropriate point being brought up by the desk, big time. And noted it
मिड पे वो ड्राई पिक तो हुआ मेरे हिसाब से उधर डॉग चाहिए था है ना
perhaps it was an attempt at being tactical, but just some moments hesitation and
मिड का ही विषय हो गया वे निकाल लेते हैं
There's no pressure. There is no pressure that PACIFIC are feeling.
Why they want to तीन जन खेल रहे हैं यार
cover. You've got 3 members watching the male location.
भाई तीन जन मेल रूम खेल रहे थे
Get
उनके
ripped out in that one. Yeah, you
तीन
lose
जन ready थे
with the Outlaw, but you did
fight
pick
के
up
लिए
the operator with Divide there. So they're getting out of this as a complete net positive as
क्या must
PACIFIC.
face
You've got
cam
another
दिखाया भाई
round, you're building credits, you've got the operator, you didn't invest any ultimates of yourself, and you remove the showstopper of Therion.
If you're PACIFIC, you see this as an absolute win. You've got all these ultimates online as well now. You can get cooking.
13-5.
And we're cooking with gas. We've got good
Check
flames
13-5.
here. No flint and steel.
Oh shit.
That's a lucky shot, I'll say. A little bit there. Stinger. On a one
Lucky तो है,
something's
lucky
head,
तो है.
but he braves it.
Let's get down low, but also for Davai now to hide inside of this smoke. Poppy trying to get sneaky around the sides, and he will find the shot.
What was
Yeah,
that
but look
shot?
what GE have managed to do. They've got in towards the A site with a Cosmic Divide dropped.
And then for Forsaken to find that trade back onto Poppy. So spike down, you got the dimensional drift now going in from something.
Get all the information that you possibly can. Recognize no one's on the side itself, or where are they going to be? Screens, it's the only option.
100% Forsaken to take the first kill. Kelly has to trade right back though. Something now trying to disrupt the positioning coming out from Kelly as with the blind side holds the angle then with the op. Yudotan though also getting taken down. Kelly is now into the shorty 1v1 around the corner. He's hopping. And something goes and peeks into it. A beautiful quad coming out from Kelly in round number 8.
He's certainly just stand and delivered around that site there, hasn't he? Just all the
Shit,
shots
gamer!
coming
भाई
out.
उसने अकेले ने मारा सबको.
Even the Sonic sensor dropped in case Forsaken goes for another tap onto the spike. Because at that
भाई
point in time,
सब Crystal
you
Gaming
technically don't know if they're
क्या
holding on or
चमार
not,
दिया है
but the
भाई.
Sonic sensor going down, it makes something
Goated.
get a little
इसने
bit more
अभी
of
दो
a
मारे
single
ऐसे.
shot
1,
out. Well,
2.
he's getting stunned up. And the HP was there in advantage for Khelraay. Great little round to come out from them on the
बच्ची boy नहीं मत कर ये सब मत
if
कर.
this is the way the map is going to go, Glob's going to get some pretty strange,
Goated.
you know, unorthodox rounds in terms of any sort of consistency.
अरे क्या बात है और अपने पास आ गई.
The upside down now. Darren with the op takes down Jing up by A ramp.
Now you've got the pit catered for as well in case there's any further pushing up through mid with Khelraay putting the Sonic sensor there.
In Kelly, I believe,
this sort of situation with Global Esports getting the opening kill, they
Kelly,
don't even necessarily need to worry about mid whatsoever. Give that over to PACIFIC, keep Divide there, because that weakens the extremities of the map. That weakens any defending at the A side or any defending at the B side, especially if you figure out where any other members are currently situated.
Precisely that. They just saw Prowler down A ramp as well, also the smoke, so that gives them some idea. They're beginning to connect the dots, but they're still looking to get a pick off.
I believe I just heard, yeah, I did, a shot out from something with the operator in garage. So now Globe will also know where that op is currently playing.
Okay. Well, we do have Petman
ऐसा
now
रे
beginning
बे
to
एक ही
rotate
जन
back
है.
over onto the B side. If
बराबर
something can find an
side
opening
choose
pick here,
कर रहे
this
हैं
could
लोग.
be massive for PACIFIC.
You just got to get through. The Flex got himself in Forsaken at the A site.
What an angle to hold as well. He could potentially TP back to safety.
It's 30 seconds. He's got a paranoia. He can stall a little bit.
Kelly का ult आ जाएगा एक और में. Oh shit, that's a nice blind.
Here comes that flash. Oh, not quite landing the burst and the trace. Recall Contra will get him there.
And the Nightfall, it stops them.
Patman now to hold the off angle. GE just have to go. They're flooding into it, but into the blender they go, and Defy to burst them down with the Phantom. Crystal for the trade, but Defy still collecting onto the 3K.
Somebody needs to let Global Esports know that we had a team earlier in this tournament. Their name was RRQ.
और भाई no flash खेल रहे बनता है.
You know, watched on this attacking side of Split. You can't play disrespect against the time.
We're just tapping on our wristwatches right here because this
it's time to go.
क्यों ऐसा बोले थे?
Definitely felt kind of like they're putting themselves in the 3-6 currently is the score, and PRX taking the lead.
I mean, the Global more confident in their ecos, in their thrifties. They've done more damage so far with that sort of weaponry.
एक round बस डेरियन अच्छे से एंट्री किया था इसमें.
Emotional pressure as well, perhaps with the ecos. Then they begin to feel like they can just let loose, but then they go straight into Divide, who's just spraying into the smokes. Forsaken now off from Vents. He does get traded by Crystal though.
Still got to be a little bit careful. If you're going very close, the Stingers are just going to rob you of your life in this round yet again. Yes, Divide was good for one with the Poison Cloud Toxins and the Snake Bite, but now needs to stand with the Phantom, and he cannot. An opportunity now for Global with Clack. Time to spare.
You got a full minute to work off of. Certainly, the Global squad will begin to assert themselves across the map. They found themselves with rifles picked up. You've got Crystal onto more utility to clear up positions.
And Patman's just throwing the horn over at the A side of the map. So
Patman के पास
going into a known quantity of Patman on this phase with a bit of utility or an unknown, unexpected position of something on this Yoro where you know the operator's in play.
Obviously, you're gonna go for Patman, but he's still able to hold the
Bro,
angle.
how?
Kill found by Patman.
How can he get
Poppy
to that?
versus something now. We've been talking up the Poppy clutches. We haven't seen them too much.
Yep, one smoke available to use his gravity well for time a little bit later on. Something
के पास clone है, 2 flash है.
Now it comes down to where you think
Poppy 1
goes.
HP है.
Not gonna lie, Komodo. I feel like I'm favoring something a little bit more this one. He's got flashes, he's got a clone, and fake footsteps. Meanwhile, Poppy just trying to hide around his smokes. He's inside of screens right now. It's a tight corner that he's holding. Something will go in for the tap here.
No, he won't. He's just trying to play around the corners. No smoke available for Poppy whatsoever, remember?
Bro, what a nice timing to peek.
Nice, bro! Will be able to find the headshot at the very end of it.
Yeah, you've got something trying to clear every corner that he possibly can.
Nice
but Poppy just repositioning quite nicely. You know, generally you would expect, or at least I would expect, an Astra player in a situation like that, when you go for a bit of an open plant, put a star on the spike, you may be playing from heaven, or you're wrapping around through a ramp. Poppy just very chilled in that moment, goes in towards screens because you isolate how many angles something could potentially go. He's more than often than not going to have to clear around the whole site and then maybe expect you to come from great little individual moment there from Poppy. To keep Global in play, 4-6. They convert this one, 5-6, or you're tying up the half, or it's 5-7 at worst.
And it was a bit of a swing round as well. I mean, PRX now find themselves with lesser weaponry. Good guns on the other side for Global, and they could, yes, potentially tie this up.
Global Esports are just very slow to gain this A main control. I like the fact that they are here a little bit earlier, though, this time, right? Generally, they've given a lot of respect over towards PRX and what numbers they're putting up through ramp, who's holding over the main side, whether it's been Patman, whether it's been Forsaken.
Oh, but also this time with the weaker guns. Now, PRX not really holding A ramp up front. It's just Divide jump peek, and he's already been spotted out.
एक ही तरफ ही end up कर रहे chat.
Still kind of piecing things together.
Might have just seen the shoulder of Darian too.
Ooh, okay, nice.
It doesn't matter. Not able to best that Outlaw.
A little bit more confidence with the peaks now. The second kill found in the round.
Darian
try to regain that weapon to hold down the position.
क्या बात है भाई Darian लाला के मरे.
Has marched up.
अबे भाई 4 लोग सीधा लड़ने गए उसको.
Global Esports not falter. Darian to have a great multi-fragging round on for the 4K.
तुम्हारे में
Who stands behind him but Forsaken.
हाँ.
With a classic.
Oh, it's a classic.
और ये
So here's what he's gonna do, Komodo. He's gonna
मार दिया अच्छा.
Spam crouch a bunch behind the boxes. He's gonna hold the angle.
See, I think he's gonna smoke him off and then try and just go off the spot because there's a wall
भाई मारना
of screens that they now get through.
But he also hears the guns firing off nearby.
सालो इको फ्रैगर मत बोलो कि इको में ही हारे PRX वाले समझे ना?
That's going to be the 5th on the round on the scoreboard rather for Global Esports.
G के इको में ही 2 rounds हारे वो लोग.
Right, they can make it a tight scoreline at 6-6 or worse now 5-7 where
Thank you Kushagra bhai for the 40 rupees. G पे नजर मत लगा. 13-1 बोल रहा था आगा से.
When they don't have time, they're not looking that good. So play with the time.
इसलिए ताकि 13-5 तो हो जाए समझ रहे हो? कुशाग्र में समझ से नहीं हो यार तुम लोग.
Just gathering some control a little bit earlier in through mains, right? We've seen them get into garage when they're pushing them back. We've seen them get up through A side of the map as well.
Especially when Darren's the one finding these opening picks.
Round के start में TP कर दिया
अभी. Now we are positioned for an explosive final round in this first half. You've got ults aplenty.
Read तो अच्छा है PRX का.
Getting in towards one of these sites. Just Crystal
वो लोग B heavy खेल रहे थे. But G realize करती है और ये जा रही है.
Send in Darion at the same time. You got options to go still for these traps that the Gravnet and the paint shells offer you.
Could PRX be positioning for a retake then, though? So Jing with the showstopper?
I mean, a definite situation where we've seen Global Esports favor
G के पास काफी
of the time just by this repositioning. Now at the minute mark, PRX need to find some solidified information, right? Pushing in through garage, seeing nothing's there, leaving Patman to spot the info of the util over at this A site. Gives him an idea that ramp is going to be a little bit void of information.
Calls Jing over, just check with the boombot. Patman does have the haunt refresh as well.
It's good macro ideas from PRX. Using this utility now to gather information.
Bro, बहुत अच्छा खेली है G ये round.
Until Yudotan goes in for the peek, but gets
now they know कि वो लोग ये पे नहीं है.
Into garage now with the nightfall.
And now they know where it's happening.
Something बहुत फट से rotate किया है.
Sending up, we see the combo of utility. Showstopper missing its mark.
Nice, ठीक है.
But still the kill collapsed on towards the Vi. Annihilation just to push PRX a little bit further back, and then the bear rush coming in. You got the showstopper from Jing though, and he blows up the site. Poppy getting blown up. Patman to trade.
Something is 1 HP.
Trades as well. They beginning to run out of time, but they still get the spike down. It came so close, Komodo.
भाई वो trigger नहीं हुआ.
Got some flashes. Forsaken, healthy and full, and they're going in for the peaks. They found out where Crystal is. Just down to the peaks and the kills now. Mechanical skill. Forsaken goes in out front. The C's from Crystal, but still Forsaken hunkers down.
I think Crystal at the end there may have just ran out of ammunition to bring the C's to try and find himself some timing, or maybe miscounted a couple of bullets left in the chamber.
Andy in the chat.
That one goes, bringing out Usil
अच्छा round था यार अपना.
Unfortunate to not win the 1 versus 1. And I got to say, within that round there as well, Global Esports making sure that the trades were there to keep in the contest, right? अच्छा trades निकले थे. Just see Khelraay reposition himself around the side to try and get involved in a lot of those duels.
ट्रिप में वो फंसा कैसे नहीं मेरे को नहीं समझा भाई सिटी वाले. वो लोगों ने कैसे तो वो ट्रिप डॉज किया सिटी वाला ट्रिप. वो जो बाहर आते साथ था डेडलॉक का. हाँ वो कैसे था मुझे समझा ही नहीं भाई. दोनों में से कोई भी स्टन नहीं हुआ उसमें. योरू फंसा था.
डेडलॉक जिंदा था अपना लास्ट में.
हाँ वो है ना सिटी पे बराबर से नहीं लगा था. थोड़ा सा गैप था इसके वजह से वो लोग ये नहीं हुए. शायद योरू क्लोन की वजह से नहीं हुआ. वही डायरेक्शन गलत था उसका.
It is PRX once again, you know, finding themselves a bit of a lead after the first half. So, you know, we kind of gather that you just don't want them to throw this lead away. It certainly can happen when your opponents are running this rather defensive composition.
Name me a more iconic duo than PRX and dropping map number 1 in a best of 3.
You had to say it, hadn't you? Oh man.
अभी defense है, lock in.
Has been happening throughout this group stage. We cannot.
Chip walk से भी trigger नहीं होता है, लेकिन गन अगर गन मारता है तो trigger होता है.
First series win. I mean, the overtime that we
had
on
ये सर कौन है नए?
No.
It was
ये अच्छा ये पिछले बार भी थे.
It was a map.
Week before that.
It was a map.
Yeah. We've got some shenanigans happening. I must say though, this first half coming out from PRX has looked a little bit cleaner. They were certainly more aware of what Global Esports might look to deploy against them.
All right, boys, it's defense for G. Let's go.
He hit कर रहे PRX heavy. Timing on the dark covers as well, right? When he first brought it out, I saw some egregious that the timing was very questionable. I could say the same for Jing a little bit as well when he first adopted it, but also learning. is really good for PRX.
Now, going quickly, quick, bhai.
Oh, all the footsteps as well. Crystal looking to break the core.
Kya baat hai, Darian, bhai?
Frenzy. Player. Take 2 down. The burst out from Khelraay with the right clicks, but still Patman trade. But PRX do find themselves at a huge number
plan tha B ka.
What can Divide do here, though?
Divide hamesha se udhar hi tha, dekh lo.
In Garage at the moment, you've got a grouping up of the global members, but Patman, 5 HP, can try and keep them entertained at the
Darian player hai yaar, chat.
But if you're global, surely you recognize that Petman either goes up mid or back into A tower.
नहीं ये राउंड अपन हार ही नहीं सकते भाई. अगर ये राउंड हारे तो मैं टट्टी.
Need to stick around for a duel, but with 5 HP, I mean.
Devi's got to make some noise for his brother out here, but all right, just going in out for the peaks. He does get that ding.
No, Udotan expect कर रहा है ना, easy
all the way through with a sheriff as well.
Need to see a sharp shot from him. Yudotan is watching, but Yudo falls.
And possibly a little bit more as well as he threads the needle onto Crystal.
That's so quick.
Poppy, though, looking to play spoiler. 1v2, takes down Patman, the first to fall. Devi now, just one more shot. He's running out of ammo and backed into the pillar. Now, potential opportunity for Poppy as he sends out the Nova Pulse. Devi. Oh, might have spotted out his foot just with a crosshair placement to top it off.
Man, where have those shots come from Devi? Headshots out with the Sheriff, absolutely clinical, quick to come out from him as well. We needed to see somebody step up in this series, right? We need to see some sort of consistency. And I mean, if Devi is going to be stepping up, I'm all for it. If Darion's stepping up on this raise as well, I'm all for it. I thought that this pistol round was looking pretty good from Global Esports yet again to be able to try and figure things out. But it's once more like the first one. You think Global get a lead in a pistol and PRX bring it back.
Oh, Komodo, I know, right? I mean, both teams feeling themselves backed against the ropes, and they're just trying to fight tooth and nail for this. But something now with the shots through the smokes.
I think maybe he just saw him over the top of the toxic screen.
Good chance for that to happen, but also now for Global to
वापस force buy किया है Global ने.
Outlaw picked up once again. Yudotan though not quite landing the shots, has to run back to reload, almost getting tagged out by Jing. The paint shells does flush him out into the open where Devi collects. Just Crystal on the site now. He's got the stinger. He will find his first shot, but 7 rounds left in the mag and Forsaken to collect.
And look who's going hunting at the moment, Jing. He will be reeled back a little bit here with the rest of the squad.
Next time bolna haare to main best player. Done.
And hides into the smokes. Oh, Komodo, this could be dangerous for Jing as well because the stinger's on the other side.
Yes.
They don't go together, but he still wins that.
Grafnet now, and they've heard Devi as well. Second kill found.
ये round अगर G हारी तो मैं best player of this entire world भाई.
You do have Forsaken perched up on top though. With elevation, he might be able to throw them off, but it's not even needed. Patman just to hold down by screens.
There's 13 HP between the two of them, and somehow they managed to weather that one and not drop the second round yet again like the first half. I also hate highlighting these components of this game of Valorant, but I think we need to. Okay, that shot's ridiculous there by something. Yudotan, someone who has been absolutely pivotal to a lot of successive rounds for Global Esports this day. Even, regardless of them not winning maps, he's been such a solid rock for them. He's really getting emphasized in this map so far.
Let's take a look, won't we?
You are the problem. Shut up.
Only 11 deaths. It's been rough for him, especially in this first half. You would hope to see more. Now that he's deadlocked on the defense. He's beginning things with the Grafnet to hold, but PRX is nowhere to be found.
Oh, bhai, Eamon pe aggressive aate hue yahan pe.
Where you need to with the force up Global in the last round.
Bhai, maar de, 2-3 maar de bhai.
Bonus here. They take the knee.
Maar de.
See the double digits to PRX, who will lose the first shot.
एक और मार देता
Say Yudotan's name and he fires in.
Still a good little pickup nonetheless. Crystal now back in from ropes just to try to play around tower.
He's got his fabled weapon in the stinger.
Dark cover on the side though. Forsaken, he's keeping upwards. Crystal, how could you possibly be aware? He bursts just to check. And now has a little bit more information. Forsaken then flush back into sight.
You've got the Gravnet back online for Khelraay too, so can combo with Darion.
Which could be even more damage given where PRX are currently positioned. All of them, though, from Global. Down ramp.
ये spam करेगा. अरे क्या है करे?
You begin with the haunt, and it's easily dealt with. Patman then to re-peek, not quite finding the shots. Crystal, the Grafnet does go through, but it doesn't quite collapse onto anyone either. Now for Jing and Devi just to spray through, obviously into the choke point. PRX finding double digits.
Phantom does good things.
Can we
in
please
that distance
bring
for
changes
Jing
to
there
split?
when the opponents dump.
Can you please change
Amen,
please?
Good work out from PACIFIC when it may look a little bit awkward from the crossfires they're trying to establish. I'm thinking to myself, yeah,
यार उड़ी भाई एक और मार देते यार.
Looking for some shots as Patman. You've got a seize, you've got a prowler.
Like the stream, boys. Like the stream if you're new.
He's just going to try and stand and deliver, but it's Jing that does it a little bit better from at the distance. And now with the 3 on the trot,
3000 like के लिए 2000 like
this attacking side, we will finally see what the answer is going to look like for can they weather the buy-up of Global, or can Global do something on this defensive side now?
Well, we'll have to see Khelraay stand up to the challenge for now. Darren as well, as they both hold around middle.
See how much utility you can bait out here as well. Wouldn't be too bad of a thing for Global, right? Remove a couple of these key components of PRX and it's a little bit more tricky to potentially get something to dive in towards the site and how you're setting them up. But you got to remember, double duelist, right? Jing can definitely let him lead in if needed.
With some of the utility that has gone up by middle as
कर रही है
well.
भाई अकेला साइड पे ये राउंड भी गया 11-5 होने के बाद इको है वापस.
Just Poppy on this back side position
अरे
around
माँ
B. Easily dealt with
यड़
the
भगा दी ना भाई.
completely blown up in his face.
Wow.
You also have annihilation now from Khelraay as an attempt.
खत्म गेम खत्म GG's.
You got Divide finding more shots down by middle, and it's just Yudotan left alone.
See what he can do in this 1 versus 5 to try and survive with the gun. Good for one, but just on the tail end here, I want to
यार अपने को होप क्यों दिया फिर?
PRX in there. You know,
2 सेंटिनल है फिर भी डिफेंस में एक राउंड नहीं जीते यार.
And how they're going together into that B site, they're just sending in the utility with the Nightfall, going in, they're dodging the annihilation.
टाइम आउट ले लेते हैं. हाँ अभी काय के लिए टाइम आउट लोगे भाई? सीट डिसाइड करने कौन किधर बैठेगा?
Really, you know, catch Poppy off guard, for example. There, just really good layering of utility to come out from PRX and make that B site execute pretty flawless. Like this round, for quote unquote, is a flawless when it was decided.
Absolutely concur with that. Yudotan though, looking for some good damage. And this will be my attempt at golf commentary. Divide chips it, and it goes in. Golf claps.
I'm not really a golf connoisseur myself.
Neither am I, honestly. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'd say in this one, PRX hit the hole in one, and Global Esports have, you know, hit it into the water. I don't know the actual terminology, but they've like banked it in the water.
Bunker? No,
that's the
right.
sandy thing.
Yeah, that's a sandy thing. Listen to us. Wait, what's the green thing called then? Grass.
Yeah, the green, isn't it? It's just called the green.
And there's like the fair.
Yeah, something
Look
like
at us exposing our lack of golf knowledge.
Let's pick a sport we actually know, or rather, let's play some Valorant and do it on the Valorant that we know. Because what we know right now is that Global need a discussion.
Desperately.
They need to flip things the other side, as Patrick who...
Oh, he's gonna take a Red Bull. Yeah, why not?
I mean, if you're getting some energy up somehow for this team, somebody needs to be, you know, bringing up the energy, right? You expect them to still be okay mentally right now. I think Darion's certainly having a bit of an outstanding performance in the consistency for this map. But I mean,
I'm wondering what their economy's gonna look like for the next round.
Yudo trying to do what he could at the tail end of last round, of course, right? But you got a timeout here to really consider, I think more importantly, not really the economy, but how you're just getting back into this map. How you're getting a single defensive round on the board with what you've got available, right? How are you getting Darion to do something with the judge? How are you potentially, you know, setting up a trap with Khelraay, with Yudotan? A lot of this utility over towards the A side of the map. You're looking out for any lurks up through mid with the one in the bottom of the ropes. You're looking out at top of ramp as well.
Darren snuck in a garage, but yeah, the main hit into this alpha site. Jing in with a showstopper does spot Poppy out, so now a good idea that most of them are backside and screens. Something though, off of the top heaven position, will get gunned down. Trades coming through from Forsaken and Petman as they march on through from ramps. In towards back screen then is where Jing finds his target. Yudotan still trying to play spoiler around the site though. Jing to make quick work of him, and just down to Darren, who was transitioning over from the B side.
Remember, he's got a judge. Definitely need to see him upgrade a weapon. There's not one available at the ramps. The closest is wrapping around into the open at the entry choke of the site, though no one will spot him there exactly.
Yeah, he's throwing the judge away.
It's good repositioning, by the way, for Jing, meanwhile.
Yes. That's going to be the main factor. Even if Petman falls around this position, which is apparently not likely, Petman still consistently finding his form with this PRX core.
Mondol, thank you for the 10 rupee on Google Pay, Shubro ji. Thank you so much. Mera dhakkan kidhar gaya yaar
around the map, setting up utility for them, just making sure that he's there to be the supporting cast for this roster. And if you're looking for somebody like that to be consistent for PACIFIC, that's what you need.
40 assists last year.
Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But certainly, you know, we are seeing, you know, a new look towards PACIFIC, right, with Patman in towards it and figuring out a lot of the roles for these players. And I mean, on this map, double duelist, as I said, playing the T1 style, it's looking all right. You know, it's been a bit awkward for him in terms of the actual kills, but you remember, he's found rounds by himself with the operator, with diving in towards the site.
Precisely. This time it's Divide in with the Outlaw, something up around the back. The sudden push out from Global, not a bad idea, but still getting punished by it now. Poppy has to hold off Garage by himself. The hot, the boom bot gives away his position. This could be it, Komodo.
Maybe. Someone checked Jing PC through the smoke there, able to find the kill to give PACIFIC the advantage in towards this post plant where they've got, well, spike down and one player advantage, as I said.
The Boombot gave him walls. That's what it was. Well, Crystal and Yudotan. Now, if Yudotan could possibly work his Neuro Theft to his advantage, maybe.
He's taking so long. You've got to expect flank, right? Surely.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the slow creep up. And now you kind of have an idea. Crystal, though, not too bad.
Easy,
now the
easy.
Nightfall. Possible chance.
Winnable.
Just to throw off the crosshair placement as well. Peak shot.
Nice!
But with the kills not found, Petman ends the map. The final scoreline bringing us to...
चलो आज शायद 2 घंटे की स्ट्रीम होने वाली है।
नहीं भाई, आज 2 घंटे की भी नहीं होगी मेरे को लग रहा है भाई। आज लग रहा है हर्ष भाई, ये लोग चाहते हैं कि हम किसी का मिस ना करें शो। अच्छे लोग हैं जी वाले, अच्छे लोग हैं। भाई हर्ष भाई, आज पहली बार मैंने PACIFIC को स्ट्रगल करते हुए नहीं देखा, पता है? साला फ्री खेल रहे थे बहुत।
पहले राउंड भी ऐसे हारे जैसे भाई लग रहा था कि लो जीत जाओ। हाँ, ये इतने राउंड ठीक है। अरे ले लो चलो।
5 तुमको दे देते हैं।
ओ भाई, आफ्टर अ लॉन्ग टाइम वी डूइंग चेटअप रिव्यू। आ जाओ। 13 Gen 11 मंकी डी कॉपी। ओह, पुरस्कन वैंडल आई है इसको। चैट, ये क्या करेंसी है? गांजा यार, इसकी डब्बी। सोचो ना, बस नीचे गिर गई और गायब हो गई। मतलब क्या समझे? वेरी बोलते हैं इसको। Oh my god, what a setup, bro. Very clean. Very clean. ये क्या लिखा है? Escape the ordinary.
अरे हर्ष भाई, ये आप? ये तो डेंजर दिख रही है।
Hello. Is the stream good, chat? Hello. अभी तो सही है। वो स्ट्रीम मैंने 1440 की, इसलिए फटने लग गया शायद। अभी देखो सही है क्या?
Short, short.
हेलो
Short,
oh
short.
yeah. Bro, what in the world is this?
ओ ब्रो ये आप हो आप ये
This
कौन
is
सा
not
गेम
me.
खेल रहे हो भाई?
हर्ष कीलराय कौन है भाई? कौन सा खीलाया है?
कीलराय डा थोड़ा
हर्ष कीलराय क्या होता है बंटा है?
कीलराय
वॉल्डेर।
क्या?
ये गेम है कोई? इसमें बैठा है, वो लेक्चर में बैठा है। ऑफिस में बैठ का काम कर रहा हूँ।
राजा
क्रेजी ब्रो, नाइस काम। आई लाइक हाउ यू डू काम। वाओ भाई, जितने लोगों ने वॉलपेपर रखा ना ये गेम का, उतने लोगों ने खेला तक नहीं ये गेम, ऐसा लगता है।
ये वो है अज़खान क्या?
अरे असैसिन्स क्रीड है कहाँ से? शैडोज।
अच्छा असैसिन क्रीड है।
Thank you for the 10 Ayush bhai on Google Pay. Alright, Ranges. Oh, this is ROG baby. This is the goated ROG. Is it ROG chat? Wait.
उसका माउस पैड देखो।
अरे ये तो मेरी जैसी हालत है इसके माउस पैड की। भाई मजाक सेट के, मेरा भी माउस पैड ऐसे ही दिखता था रेड गियर का।
वैसा था तो मैंने देखा है।
गोटेड माउस पैड भाई। ऐसे माउस पैड वाले बंदे हैं ना, डायमंड रहते हैं।
प्लैट। हर्ष भाई तुम्हारे पास भी जब ये माउस पैड था तब
मैं इमॉर्टल था। और रियल भाई
ना?
शिट। एडिट एंड गेमिंग सेटअप, डोंट माइंड द ट्रैश कैन। वाओ ब्यूटीफुल ब्रो।
केबल मैनेजमेंट
पांडरा। हाँ ये थोड़ा ऊपर दबा दो और ऊपर झमा दो। भाई इनका माउस पैड वेव क्यों मार रहा है? माहौल वेवी क्यों हो रहा है इसका?
हो गया होगा उसका।
क्या बात है? W चेटअप विदाउट GPU 200 FPS देते क्या? $200 FPS
भाई, पर किस पे 200 FPS देता है भाई?
अरे बिना, हाँ बिना ग्राफिक कार्ड के 200 FPS कैसे देगा?
अरे तो CPU बेस्ड गेम है ना, CPU अच्छा होगा।
लेकिन 200 FPS is impossible. This is a cap. Big cap.
भाई बट उसका मॉनिटर क्या है?
What in the world is this? What in the world is this?
I guess he sells something, bro.
Like?
कुछ तो बेचता होगा।
क्रेजी तो लग रहा है ये सेटअप।
जो भी है, हाँ भाई अच्छा लग रहा है, क्लीन लग रहा है।
Oh, let me just
voting.
वो टीवी गेमर
ये उधर गेम खेल रहा है।
क्या?
उधर देख रहा है, देखो उधर गेम खेल रहा है।
ओ अच्छा, W यार
गेम भी खेल रहा है, देख भी रहा है। हारते राउंड हारते एंटरटेनमेंट
या एंड फिर तो मतलब ये ऐसा गेम प्ले है, समझ लो यहाँ पे अभी जैसे वो राउंड इसमें गेम में मर गया, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे चल रहा है, चलो मैच चल रहा है जी का, तो जी भी अगर मर गई तो फिर रील स्वाइप करेगा। समझ लो ब्रो, दैट्स हाउ अ सेटअप शुड बी। एवरी सिंगल सेकेंड तुम्हें वेस्ट नहीं करना है, तुम्हें
कुछ तो कुछ देखते रहना है।
ऐसा ब्रो, दिस इज अ क्लीन कीबोर्ड। ये कौन सा कीबोर्ड है?
पता नहीं भाई।
मैडलियंस
वूटिंग का रिप ऑफ।
ये पोमेलो फ्रूट जो आपने खाया था थाईलैंड में है, ये ऐसा एक एक करके निकालते हैं। अरे हाँ, अपन ने खाया था ना, वो संतरे जैसा लग रहा था।
खाया था।
What in the world are these flavors?
भाई वो व्हाइट पाइनएप्पल तो
व्हाइट पाइनएप्पल, ओ भाई ये क्या है?
ओए मैंने पॉपिंस लाई है, पता है क्या?
ब्रो ये माउस पैड क्या प्यारा है। क्लर्च भाई मेरे नशे का ढक्कन घूम गया यार।
नशे का ढक्कन घूम गया।
मैं दर्शन को बोला लाने नशा। दर्शन गया है। हेड बॉय भाई मेरे पास भी हेड बॉय का बैच है मालूम क्लच भाई। तुम कभी थे स्कूल में हेड बॉय?
बहुत सारे बैच है मेरे पास
ब्रो। लेकिन व्हाट अ सेटअप दिस इज भाई।
पूरी पीछे तक दीवार में, उधर देखो एंड तक दीवार में।
शिट ये बहुत बढ़िया है। और ये जमीन तक है, ये जमीन है उसकी।
ओह है ब्रो
भाई पूरी वॉल इसने भर दी एनीमे से। शिट। और ऐसे भी नहीं कि उसने अड़म तड़म डाल दिया है, बहुत क्लीनली डाला है उसने जो भी डाला है। डबल यूज।
क्या बोलते हैं मांगा पैनल।
या एक्चुअली ये जो मांगा है ना क्लच भाई, ये है जुजुत्सु काइसेन का। और ये जो स्टिकर्स दिख रहे हैं, हाँ ये जो स्टिकर्स दिख रहे हैं ना आपको,
वो जुजुत्सु काइसेन है।
वन पीस। यस
नीचे वाला।
यप
है।
वाओ
सब वन पीस है हग्गा से।
अरे तो वो नीचे एक था छोटे में, आपको दिखा नहीं रहेगा। ब्राउनी फ्रैप पे। ओ इज दिस योर सेटअप हगरे?
नाइस सेटअप ब्रो। ओए नाइस नाइस।
पानी पी रहा है, पानी
पी रहा है भाई। पर वो सब बोतल को वैसे ही यूज करना चाहिए बाद में, पता है, पानी के लिए।
हाँ मेरा एक दोस्त है भाई, उसके घर में सब पीते हैं, तो उसके घर में सब पानी के बोतल ही वैसे रहते हैं। मैं बोला भाई मैं पानी नहीं पी रहा, मैं लिटरली सूंघ के पानी पी रहा था भाई। मुझे लगा भाई इसमें स्मेल तो नहीं आ रही होगी। भाई इसके घर पे अब भी बर्थडे पार्टी हुई है। भाई क्या खा रहा है यार, डेंजर लग रहा है खाना। हाँ
भाई वो पूरी कचौड़ी है
भाई,
खीर है।
ओह माय माय भाई क्रेजी।
भाई गायास देख 41% पे है।
कैश बैंडल इतना अच्छा है क्या?
अबे भाई मेरे को तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
डेरियन ऑन यारो।
चलो मैं ये बंद कर रहा। मां कसम के हार गए।
But once again,
क्यों हार गए क्यों बोल रहे हो? अच्छा अच्छा तो है।
मतलब कॉम्प अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है।
अच्छा ऐसा है तो 13-0, 13-1, 13-2, 13-3, 13-4, 13-5, 13-6 इनमें से कुछ भी हो सकता है। 13-7, 13-8, 13-9 कुछ भी हो सकता है इनमें से।
पर 13 तो हो रहा है पेपर एक्स का।
नहीं अब सब बोल दिया, अब कुछ नहीं होगा। सर्ज भाई ये पीछे देखा क्या हुआ अभी?
क्या? हाँ
वो बंदा बंदी थे, वो बेचारा बंदा मस्त भाई की सोया उसके कंधे पे, उसने ऐसा किया भाई बंदी ने।
When you were saying I'm not so comfortable on the Euro, and like you said, this map, the last time we saw it last week against DFM, he looked like a Euro player. He didn't look like a Jet player. He looked like he was playing Euro the way Euro is meant to be played. So let's see if he can repeat that performance, because it was phenomenal last week, or if GE can bring this to a third map and get closer to playoffs.
All right, chat, is this going to be a comeback or is this going to be a GG? क्या लगता है?
Thank you very much, Victoria Big Time. Ed Pilski, yes, we've got the something you're back at it again. He was doing pretty amazing things with the operator in map 1. And this is also a map where PaperX last had a 10-2 defensive first half.
GG लिख रहे बे सब। GG.
Got Darion slipping in there, but what it was a 13-1 loss against Boom. So I don't really know how much stock that we have for GG for Global Esports. So we will see if it's not going to be a quick GG here.
Hopefully not. That's it, though. We do have something already pushing out from...
Wow!
Ooh, almost died, but Gate crashes away just in the nick of time.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 spread around the map now for PaperX because of that too.
ऐसा विफ किए इधर ही राउंड खत्म हो गया। इधर जो मनोबल होता है ना, मनोबल वो मनोगल हो जाता है।
Delivered in that first round, previous map with his smokes. Currently though, trying to keep himself concealed.
Wonder how much time Global Esports wait before opting to go towards this B side as well, where the breakable door will go open courtesy of the salvos, and then they start to flood in together as a team.
All out through the rotating door from C side though. Something unfortunately will fall. But you also have Jing and the rest of the gang just around the cage of Yudotan. Yudotan then swings out because of the flash of Poppy, but the shot's not connecting! Defive finds it instead. Yudotan swings back out. Patman takes the trade off towards where GE are playing then though, around A-Link. They've got a good angle against the spike. Jing looking to stick it halfway, gets off at the right time, but still not quite able to react in kind. Forsaken for the 1-on-2.
Salvos will eventually come online to Crystal.
Oh, and he's just staying tucked away as well. They hear the footsteps, but now Crystal has to take the shot. Oh, not quite able to find it. Forsaken racking up kills up to a triple.
Angry Forsaken. He
has
got his runners on there, and he has hunted them down for the 1 versus 3 Red Bull clutch to come on out. I thought the Global might have been able to come away with that, but when you see some more...
भाई, अपन जब ऐसा खेलते हैं ना, जब सामने एकदम नल्ली पाव टीम आई रहती है, लोअर रैंक, वैसा खेला है भाई, वो डिसरिस्पेक्ट किया भाई, वो भाग के गया मुंह पे.
And in this round from PRX, hasn't it? They are not scared to just take these fights here in this one.
1v3
eventually would come online for Crystal, but Forsaken just wants to get ahead of that one, feeling confident on the kills, and well, it doesn't phase him. It does not phase him. His 10th clutch to come in for VCT Pacific.
How about that? Reaching new milestones as well. That's got to feel good, and that gives them a little bit more confidence to hold down the sight lines against A.
Wow.
Crashes away.
Great.
G looking to regroup themselves.
Yeah, force up from Global as well, because they got the plant down and it went down to, you know, just 1 player surviving from PRX in the last round. Now though, spread around Mound. Sorry, Rubble. See if they're going to opt to stick around A, or if they will look to go
Stingers force
pivot in towards the B side again.
हर round उन लोग ने force किया ऐसा.
Try and bait in PRX to any unexpected crossfires.
Feels like they're looking for CQB duels on this A site, and the force by Komodo worked out for them in map 1.
Salvo's back online for Crystal. South Drone goes in first. You want to combo a little bit of this utility to get the tree control.
Oh, something with the timing though. Just out from the smokes, but look at that! Stingers aplenty, and GE will collect on kills as well. Forsaken though finding 1, a second as well, and he does get away from the special delivery, but he knows that there are too many players surrounding him. Unicorn, fantastic to capitalize. Just
something about these force-ups or thrifties in global esports.
Recognizing situations as well. Quite aware.
Good round in the chat. Let's go.
Smoke blocking off stairs. Defy just as to try to go in for a peek. He had the utility in hand, so
let us go, baby. Let us go.
Yeah, maybe need to see a little bit more productivity from PRX to get some information when they've got the members around the A site there, but it's just the creepiness that comes up, right, from the likes of Global, silently waiting for some of that utility to come back online before ultimately exploding together. Like, that one feels like a pretty drilled round from them, and you know, one you can kind of emulate in scrims if you're in a situation like that, even on your rifle.
13-1 होगा. मैं बोला 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. इनमें से कुछ भी हो सकता है.
When you do get close up and personal.
Lesser subbies.
Sub बोल दिया.
Lesser subbies. Submachine guns.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're learning Aussie slang now.
That might just be me slang. Not 100% sure, but
अभी इनमें से कुछ नहीं
होगा. Thing. Well, nonetheless, it is going to be PRX stacking up with 4 onto this A site. Darren though with the outlaw will quickly dispatch.
Hunters on though.
इसको क्यों बाकड़ा गरम करने बैठा है?
Really up close and personal, but that just doesn't work out, doesn't it? Yudotan finally in the game.
Yeah, no chance at all. I mean, those footsteps were very audible. So Yudotan, great to rack those up. Now he's got the Neuro Theft for future rounds. Devi, once again, left alive. And he's going to just try to find whatever he can. Good little swing out. Takes Yudotan down.
भाई यार वो दवाई ने वो शेरिफ के स्प्लिट पे कैसा राउंड निकाला यार.
Neuro Theft going online for this belated bonus round is
उधर ही हार गए थे अपन.
Good for Global, you would expect, if they're able to waltz around the map as well. And, you know, for example, push PRX out of Mound. They're able to
Arjun bhai, shout out to you.
Drift online for Darion, so there's an opportunity that they definitely could steal away this next round, depending on what they look to do and depending on how aware PRX are going to be towards this C site, where they've not really gone for too much of the Mound control either themselves. Specifically now, judging by positions as well, they're not really going to be able to do something with just Divine.
G is bad, PRX is good.
This would be a pretty good start to the round for Global Esports to
दोनों की हालत फिलहाल एक जैसी है.
Act out from there.
Yeah. Keeping PRX conditioned over onto the A side. Well, at least Jing will pick up an alt orb as well, though, so possibly for future rounds. But right now, Devi has to do some heavy lifting. He's feeling the pressure coming out. He hears footsteps onto the other side.
Well, he's just put more thorns down on the side as well. So getting an idea that it might eventually end over at this C site where you've still got the shear wall up the front of B and a pivot available with the rotating door if you feel any more pressure towards C, but you didn't have an idea if anyone was pushed up there. That's why the Thorns get popped. And now you've got Global Esports looking to get some mound control. Rubble.
Oh, and he's getting suppressed as well. So Forsaken not able to TP out. He does run into a link, back to stairs, maybe a heaven. But this is a slight opportunity for Global Esports to possibly get more leg room around the A site.
Just need to have a good, decisive call, though, from Global. If they're going to pivot towards the C site, now's kind of the time. They're starting to run it over, but 30 seconds, you're exactly right.
The
information, look at that. Collat picked up. Yudotan to trade right back, though, as Patman peeks out from Pillar. Now Defy continuing to hold tight off angles around the C site. He's looking for more. Jing trying to get in with the kills as well. Blast packing through, but Poppy good on the shots off the Guardian.
And now you got 10 seconds has already started to waltz on over. Well, he expecting to come through the break door. It was.
और वो blind हुआ तो उस पे pull up भी नहीं किया.
He's got smokes up as well. Not quite watching the angle. Forsaken. Cross placement. Shot precise. He's gonna get the kill. PRX up to 2.
Thought it might have been a little bit ambitious of Jing to get in there with the satchels through the rotating door to help out Defy as well. Specifically when I'm looking at how close Papi is towards from the shadows as well. You know, if he's given the light of day to get that one off and bring the spike with him towards the A site, there might have been a real opportunity for him. I believe he even had the arc rose available at the right location. Towards bound 2 potentially there, but this one right here. Hey, at least he got the one trade to bring it into the 1 versus 1 at the end there for Forsaken to be able to.
अरे टाइम आउट ले लो बात विद कर लो भाई थोड़ी सी पिछले मैप में एक टाइम आउट नहीं.
We'll see what happens then. We do have Petman on the judge now.
Yep. I personally would like to see something get a little bit more confident on this Yoru. Speaking of Yoru, Darion for his second ever appearance on this agent.
Oh yes.
From what I was able to see, it looks like the last time it was played was in some sort of overtime variety where he did go double negative. So
so this is Coach Elevated, just trying to stick to the same composition. Darren clearly still able to make it work though. How proficient? Well, we have yet to see that so far. But right now it's an opening pick. Something also down to low HP.
Yep. Darion certainly capable of learning in the server, it seems, at the moment to chop and change with the team. Good shot out from him there on a Jing. This is looking like a well-formulated round for Global so far, and now even better when it's a 5 versus 2 situation.
Easy round, finally.
Slowly getting picked apart. You do have Divide with the Steel Guard, but it's 2 on 5.
Yeah, it'd be pretty risky to drop that one.
How's life? कैसी हो आप? मस्त.
The PRX members that they're just going to have to call for a save in this sort of situation, and with the credit mark in this round. I don't really favor Global Esports going for a hunt here. You can understand if KLS wants to, but I mean, you kind of just play respectful of this one. It's early in the half. You want to balance out your own economy. Just let them save this one and stew in the fact that Global will win a actual gun round.
Slightly working off of time, but it's also with the confidence gained from the opening picks that they found. It's not too bad, and I would like to just.
मैं तो बता के पाता हूँ भाई, मैं ऐसा बोलता हूँ. Excuse me, I am gonna fart.
Went by last week against PRX and DFM.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is obviously a different scenario.
मेरे को उतने manners है.
Sure. And now you've got a little bit of time to just converse things over at the tail end of this round. Immediately seeing better impact, better positioning. I think a little bit better calls as well, specifically where the boom game is concerned for Global Esports as well. For those that have been joining us, that scoreline was a 13-1 in favor of boom. And in this one, already a little bit more delivered to us from Global Esports. A timeout though from PRX you'd expect here to further.
May I have a second close by?
More time, why not? Certainly if you feel like you need it. Meanwhile, on the other side, I mean, Darren certainly has been quite the upcoming talent. Seeing him from Bleed from before, he's found some moments for himself, like Aces against, I think, Gen G. Now, off to the Yoru second. And he's still kind of comes up and he's able to perform. PRX, they've been getting picked apart. What's it going to be?
I think more importantly for me, it's Global getting a sense that they can do things together as a team, making sure that the trades are going to be there, and making sure that Darion's like not too far in front of the team as well, right? When you are running the composition that they are running on the solo Yoru, you really
they are cooked,
RCB.
They are cooked.
With no real impact in the round, right? Looking like a headless chicken. So making sure that he is together with the team and getting set up by the likes of Khelraay, by the likes of Crystal as well. Going to be quite important. You want to see Yudotan be this late lurker, the straggler to go around the map.
Especially with the fact that Global still has an up in the equation as well. You know, this kind of means that PaperX is going to have to think twice if they're going to peek out
RCB वाला क्या बोले वो चीज?
Mound as well. Yep. They do have something up by Mound currently.
Yeah, waiting for the pop play, right? You can spot
out
what
टट्टी चीज बोल रहे.
Have an arc rose go and you can try and peek out together.
कल 50 बन रहे थे क्या तुमसे? हाँ? जीतेगा तो RCB. अरे वो टीम डेविड था इसलिए बचे भाई.
For example, for then
भाई जीतेगा तो RCB.
तो कल भाई हिस्ट्री बनाने वाली थी RCB.
Or just rotate silently.
Pistols as well, which is kind of an unfortunate situation.
वो player भी हमसे लिए.
After the A site now, Global beginning to retrieve some information, some crucial intel.
Darion spotted absolutely nothing over at this A site at the moment. Forsaken now to get some
अरे
info.
सो गया Crystal.
That's a free kill. Is quite unfortunate for Global. It makes things a little bit weird in this round where there's 2 rifles, 4 PaperX, couple of pistols. That gun that's dropped towards spawn is not going to be recoverable. But you do have a player advantage where a situation like this, Quack, the Steel Garden investment could be large.
अरे आराम से बनता है क्यों?
Yudotan trying to hold the angle, unfortunately got down by Jing. Showstopper possibly getting deployed in the round. Khelraay just trying to play up by drop.
उसको spot नहीं किया.
Not quite spotted out yet.
Oh,
Here
nice shot.
comes that rocket. Not quite landing as well. Khelraay then finding a shot onto something. The Steel Garden getting the primary weapons jammed.
How?
But Khelraay onto the ghost, still able to find some shots. Forsaken now from the back.
Nice, okay.
But headed out by the shorty. Petman now with a phantom finds the kill. Jing off to the defuse.
Yeah, in fact, the Forsaken manages to find that first kill up in mid without a trade, and then you've got the Sheriff shots coming through from Jing from together as the team, right? In that scenario, I'm expecting that kill to just be assisted by the pretty much everyone at PaperX looking at the right rotation. A thrifty round to end it out. I mean, yeah, look at it. All of their guns are ready for that duel just there, and then as I mentioned, Steel Guarded in makes a lot of sense. Blood together as a team, hunting down Global Esports members. A thrifty round to come through from PaperX. And they also get now the operator out for something who is currently 060. If you flip it around, it's 006.
Oh my god, 4-man
007.
Something 0 kill pairs,
look to crack that egg. Do like James Bond, but something. Let's not go there, shall we?
Well, maybe it will be Die Another Day.
Okay, Yudotan to hold the angle, but yeah, this time it's going to be Global Esports trying to assert some presence over onto the C site. Yeah, Vi has been relegated to play a safer position by Waterfall.
If Crystal wants to try and sell any sort of fake here, it's just going to be the drone to go out by itself. So he's just going to wait to see what he can spot. Bit of over-eagerness potentially here from the PaperX members. Yudotan spotted out, by the way, during gate crash, and Crystal noted as well. So it's going to cause some investment of util for PaperX. Meanwhile, eyes on the prize of this C site for Global is the eventual end.
Well, yes, the off noted as well, and that's why they have decided to push into the C site now, especially alongside this Armageddon. Something might have gate crashed over onto this part.
नहीं है, लेकिन एम है, दवाई अकेला 2-3 मार देगा, ओपन में खेल रहा है, मार दिया दूसरे को भी, 3 मार दिया, सबको मार दे, 4 मार दिया, गासे ने, वो मारने खड़ा है ओपन में.
Man, Devi has just absolutely brutalized them, hasn't he? 4 kills in the round, just a duel fought throughout the aftershock in water as well, right? You just considering that that's going to keep him locked in the corner, but he's just going to play on the back with the visual clutter and go for the kill. He's got assistance from Patman as well, bringing in with the Nightfall. Oh, just delivering the goods there for him. That is a pretty well-structured retake to come through from PaperX when they just have the idea of it is going to be the
Structured retake बोलता है.
Early to stick around.
रुको मैं आया क्लच में 1 सेकंड AFK.
Proper retake.
I couldn't agree more, Komodo. And for the past 2 rounds with PaperX playing like this, you gotta love how Uncle David is able to provide so much more value to the team now on this balance roll. He's on that thrifty.
विंडो सीट भी नहीं मिलेगी, पहिए से बांध के लेके जाएंगे.
Okay, got my shades on.
दम से खेल लो भाई.
On a map called Fracture. That Devi did flash himself.
Couple times, yes.
Yep.
Acha call.
Yep. But he's learned his lesson. Yep. This time, don't use the utility. Just shoot.
Just shoot. That's how you play Vice. I gotta imagine the Riot devs, if they are watching somewhere, you know, also feeling like really happy seeing that Steel Guard around. Like, this is exactly what we envisioned for this agent.
I mean, remember, Vice did just have a nerf coming on what, 2 patches ago or something like that now, where you've got less time on the Razor Vines and such, so, you know, still a pretty viable agent, you know, I think personally, in the way that the team is adopting Vice as well.
भाई वो बेचारा अकेला कर रहा है ये बोल रहा हूँ ना
back on our something counter. Not 007. He did get a
तो जरूरी है क्या?
All right. And it's still the op, you know, present in the round, so GE does have to figure that out, but currently going for rubble control, they have...
Wow.
He's got out.
He's got out of that one, hasn't he? क्या skill है बे ये क्या skill है?
Towards Darion, rotating door, still rotating, and his Shroud stepped in towards there, and no one's shot at him.
Still has one more TP as well. GE kind of trying to think tactically around this situation, thinking to rotate back in towards B, but Jing is there.
Just a round of duels at the moment for PACIFIC. Not letting these guns find any opportunity from Global. And now in a 5 versus 2, you need to see Khelraay and Crystal do something pretty destructive to get back into this one.
Given the positions, though, they are somewhat susceptible to spams. PACIFIC trying to keep themselves...
3 मारेगा क्रिस्टल इधर देखो यार टैप ऐसा देखो थ्रो करने वाले पेपर
Crystal will find his first headshot. One hit cracked. Looks for an opportunity to slip into the B side. Repeaks, takes down another player, but Jing, oh Jing, you're just happy to clean things up for
thank you so much Parth bhai for joining in the Bow Gang Gold. Lala Gamer, thank you so much.
Play with a little bit of the piggy bank as well, right? Building up a little bit of the economy there. Jing far out in front of the rest of the team. As we just see a lot of these duels in that round, one by PRX pretty.
टिफिन डब्बे में वो बेचते हैं वो.
Schedule 1.
हाँ Schedule 1.
ओह.
और उसमें समझ रहे हो मिक्सिंग मशीन में वो करते हैं भाई सब समझ में आ रहा था पता?
हाँ गंजेड़ी बन चुके हो.
What's there, but another buy up they will present. A lot of rubble control to be established by PACIFIC, and I think if you're Global Esports, you need to recognize that these slower paced rounds have not been working, so you got to get a little bit of a quicker wriggle on. The Shia is not at the front of C. You've got an Omen, you've got a Yoru. You can get to the back of this C site early.
Oh, but they're feeling some, well, I'm afraid to say this word, but PTSD. They knew that Davai has been playing on the C site.
And he's got the Steel Garden yet again, remember? So just the success
अकेले दवाई से डर रहे देखो ना सी पे भाई लोग खौफ है भाई. What a shot.
Speaking about something.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on the board.
Woohoo.
पहला राउंड पहला किल.
Something का पहला किल आया.
And everything, but yeah, back into the C site precisely with this
team flash कर दिया बट्टा है.
You know, slight mishaps here and there, but they are able
दवाई का
to
अल्टे
get boots
रीटेक
on
के
the
लिए
ground on C.
क्रिस्टल भाई का
That maybe the spike as well, but then the Steel Garden comes out. They're pushing all the way through just to try to wrangle more space, but Jing denies it outright. Forsaken blocking off B pillar as well, and now, oh, something. You're just pushing Khelraay away. He's looking for some kills right back though, but out of the gate crash, and it's into the shorty. Something not letting Global Esports breathe at all.
1 HP. It's close, but he gets it done. I was looking at actually the positioning off screen from Crystal. The Steel Garden, we saw the tail end of it, looking to remove his gun up through the middle of the pillars, but Forsaken stuck around and found the kill the whole time with the operator. So even the heads up and disciplined play to come through from PACIFIC, that they know that potential lurk is coming because they didn't spot him on the hit.
अरे क्या 50 टाइम आउट ले रहे क्या? कि हाफ टाइम हो गया क्या सीन है?
The site when they opt to fall back towards the holes, towards waterfall.
Stream आगे माजी ना रही है तुझे
पूरे. Really aware that Global Esports are liking to have these little later lurks from somebody to come around the map.
Tech pause.
And oh
only
dearie me.
Tech pause can save us, bro. Only Tech pause can save us.
किसी का तो क्रैश हुआ भाई. वो डेरियन का ही क्रैश हुआ.
I feel this is something.
नहीं something तो PACIFIC पे है भाई.
You know, Tech pause less so far.
चलो.
But we
तब तक Tech pause होने तक तुम लोग चेक करो. ये वाला टी-शर्ट exclamation alt F4 डालो. पीछे वाला जो प्रिंट है वो देख के तो तुम्हारी जड़ बग जाएगी.
It's gravity.
अपने वेबसाइट पे ये वाला टी-शर्ट लॉन्च हो चुका है. You can check it out.
Umbrella through a chimney.
Pam pam pam.
The umbrella go down a chimney while it's up. Doesn't fit.
Oh yeah.
Coster ने heavy ये दिया.
What do you call it? Surface area.
Yep. Tech pause though.
भाई
Players
बोलता
can't talk in
है
this.
छतरी खोल के चिमनी से नहीं डाल सकते।
क्या?
ऐसे ही बोला है भाई।
3 Zeds. I don't know how lucky you're gonna be, how lucky you're gonna get with that one. Maybe if you hunt some of the reds.
चालू
I don't know
करो!
if I caught it. I didn't see the gamer name in there with the hashtag and everything to give it to. So maybe gotta find
Maybe
it.
it's in
I didn't see
Korean.
it.
डेरियन ने अल्ट F4 कर लिया।
Regardless though, Paper X, man.
चालू करो भाई, बस हो गया यार। और ये माँ कसम, हेयर स्टाइल देख रहे हो भाई की? ये ऐसे बाल मुझे भी रखने थे बचपन में भाई। कैसा दिखता है अभी?
Completely as 5 and go for the full retake, or try to chip 1 or 2 players away first and then
किसी को विंडो सीट नहीं, सबको पैदल भेजो।
A lot of the time as well, just
अमेरिकाज होगा आज, यस आज अमेरिकाज होगा, कल भी अमेरिकाज हो जाएगा, फिर पैसिफिक भी होगा, फिर अमेरिकाज भी होगा, फिर पैसिफिक भी होगा। You are regular watch party. Trimmer is back.
Seen them swing rounds where they have thrifties being picked up. You know, they force bot with the stinger and they manage to turn things around a little bit. Just when it comes down to some of these rounds, they begin
हर्ष भाई आपके ब्रांड का फ्री प्रमोशन सब अल्ट F4 कर दिए।
lose the lead.
There's some miscommunications.
हर्ष भाई आपका ब्लॉग देखा लास्ट में, वो ड्राइवर अंकल क्या डेंजर थे भाई। ऐसी है ना, ऐसा ट्रक चल रहा है सामने, ठीक है, ऐसा ट्रक है सामने यहाँ पे, ठीक है, क्लर्च भाई बाजू में बैठा है ना, ये भाई ऐसा और ऐसा नाच रहे क्लर्च भाई को देख के, और हम लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं, अरे आगे देख, और फिर वो लिटरली शॉट है भाई इसमें व्लॉग में। तुमको दिखाता हूँ भाई कितना चिल्लाता है ये इंसान। देखो सामने भी देखो, लेकिन गाना सुनने के लिए रहना चाहिए। भाई बोलता है हम तुमको एक गाना सुनाता है, ये गाना तुम सुने रहोगे। हम बोले हम में से किसी ने नहीं सुनाता ये गाना, तो हम लोग सुने और फिर बोलता है हम सब बैठे ना गाड़ी में, गुंडे हम गुंडे ऐसा कर रहा है, ठीक है। अब क्लर्च भाई साइड में बैठे थे आप।
प्री मैच 10 से आया था पता है
क्लर्च भाई?
हाँ
तुमको ये डरा दिया था ना ये कैब वाला।
रुको देख
वो बोलता है अरे तुम डर गए क्या?
अरे मेरे को उठाया, ठीक है, मेरी गुड मॉर्निंग करी उसने पहले, फिर उसके बाद बोलता है तुम डर गए थे ना। मैंने बोला भैया कैसे नहीं डरूंगा
भाई। ये वाला क्लर्च भाई, ये वाला मूवमेंट देखो भाई, मेरी इधर चड्डी फट गई थी, देखो अभी देखो अभी नहीं अभी ये देखो
चला लो भाई,
ये देखो
भाई
मेरे को तो सामने से दिख रहा था ना ये मेरी फट रही थी। मैंने बोला भाई अगर कुछ होगा तो मेरे को लगेगी, पहले पीछे तक पता नहीं हो ना हो कुछ
भाई।
मैं तो जमा हूं।
सफान मेरे को बोलता है भाई पीछे तो एयर बैग्स भी नहीं है।
अरे सामने कौन से थे?
अरे मां कसम। और वो है ना चैट, वो है ना एक पैर से गाड़ी चला रहा था, बहुत हार्ड था।
उसने गाड़ी 5th में डाल के छोड़ दिया था।
क्रेजी था भाई वो, एक्चुअल हेवी ड्राइव। ओए ये क्या बनाया छोटा भीम?
रेस है भाई वो छोटा भीम वाला रेस
है ना?
हाँ शायद छोटा भीम बनाया।
चलो आज मैच नहीं चालू होने वाले वापस। भाई ये बंदे ने रिवर फैंटम ली छी। भाई मेरे जिंदगी की सबसे वर्स्ट डिसीजन है ये, रिवर फैंटम लेना, मजाक से हटके।
अच्छा शॉप पे
रिवर 2.0 में जो नाइफ आई थी ना, वो सबसे बेस्ट नाइफ थी, वो सबसे अच्छा डिसीजन था मेरा। लेकिन ये नाइफ
बंडल है।
हाँ मेरे को बंडल गिफ्ट किए थे भाई।
ओह हेल ना, तुम्हारे पास वो क्लासिक भी है वाइपर वाली?
हाँ वाइपर वाली क्लासिक नहीं है मेरे पास, शेरिफ है, वो हैदराबाद ने दिलाई थी।
शेरिफ
बम ओ राइडर ही है भाई, लेकिन कितना क्लीन रखा है इसने टेबल।
कॉर्नर है उसका, कॉर्नर
ये इसने बनाया है
क्या है भाई वो? बट
गाड़ी। बड़ा होके हर्ष भाई को ऐसा कैबिनेट गिफ्ट करूंगा।
ओ वाह
चलता है ये पीसी चलता है
भाई।
अरे माँ कसम अरे भाई
पीसी के अंदर चाइना बनाया है बे
भाई पीसी के कंपोनेंट छोड़ के बाकी सब दिख रहा है
मेरे को सिर्फ ग्राफिक कार्ड दिखा भाई वो रैम दिखी भाई साइबर सिटी बनाया है इधर भाई
क्या ये ओई
वाह क्या दिख रहा है बे
ना और माँ भाई कितना जगमगा है अगर गलती से भगवान ना करे अगर गलती से तुम्हारी मदरबोर्ड खराब हो गई
अबे यार
Got dimensional drifters Darion to sniff out a lot of this information. That could definitely set up your team to get a little bit further into a site. Not specifically the A site though, because PRX have already scared you away a little bit here.
Yeah, just pressing the button on that door as well. Certainly trying to make some noise towards B though. The fake out already used. Okay. Pings from PRX.
Toying with a little bit of the rotations here.
Toying.
Set up
Acha, toying.
all over at the C side of things for PRX, and majority of your forces ready for a mound trap. Meanwhile, the A site eventually, the hit for Global Esports is a very similar setup to what we saw previously with Forsaken being a little bit closer to the breakable door to get the information. But now, PRX have the mound information.
I will handle this.
This is going to eventuate towards the A site for Global Esports. Quack, my question though is, do they go a little bit further than the site itself to stave off PRX?
Comes down to how much
illegal point दो ना यार उसका और farm
good
करो.
that the team was able to follow through off of the dimensional drift, but now you're hearing some fake footsteps off the drop as well.
और दो जन
trying to throw them off his scent.
door से आ रहे हैं.
And then for the rest of PRX to group up behind.
ऊपर से कोई नहीं आ रहा. जिंग के ult है.
Unfortunately there as oh mate Darion, you're stuck in towards the site, but you've got a lot to do here with the team. Let's see if Global can get this.
PRX quite aware of where the GE players are though, just to take the first hit down by Tree. The second one kill going free as well. 4v3 now. And PRX continues to push on through. Immediate salvos from Crystal though.
Oman
does push
TP
PRX off position. Forsaken then taking Poppy down by the back. Unfortunately, TP is not quite favoring him now, but all of a sudden, look at the kills. The stingers from Crystal and Darion just decimated PRX in whole. Thrifty found by Global Esports.
It's another Thrifty that they're able to pull away with. They can't convincingly get a proper round of it. That one is across the board.
Let's go,
from the shadows, that does come down there as well. From Poppy is a little bit questionable, but I think maybe a little bit more questionable is Jing on that spray time. An issue at the end of that one, not for Global, but for PRX.
Jing भाई ने उस movement कर दिया.
Enough because of the damaging util that the salvo
पीछे से मारना hard है यार भाई.
Global
पीछे से मारना tough तो होता है, but
आदत बराबर नहीं बनता.
Which would be a pretty decent start.
आदत बना ली.
Got ops now on both sides as well. Yoru for Yoru, but something with the peek out from Mound.
Give me more, he says. The problem is though, Quack, you've removed the smokes from Global Esports. Oh, and they don't even bait out the shear.
Quickly shot down by Jing.
Yeah, makes it really awkward to try and get in towards this site.
Shot
A free opener there. Back to balance out in the 4 versus 4. You take that.
SG versus SG. Darion, good for a bit of an opener, but now you've got to trip the sheer wall, or for everyone just to hop on at the same time. They will trip it, and then for Crystal to try to lurk around rubble, but unfortunately shut down by Forsaken.
Chat, stop saying anything in the chat, please.
Now you get the information from the shadows from Forsaken. I think he might have even spotted all 3 members out just then.
वो blind नहीं हुआ.
For the initiator to lurk as well, but that said, it's going to be something on this Yoru.
And he's still got thorns available as well on something's call.
Yeah, quick off to it. Oh, shorty swing. They both had the same idea, but Darren just dunked on him a little bit quicker. Sight now handed over onto GE, but PRX quick to flood back in as well. Forsaken looking for a cheeky angle. Prowler will go through, but not quite finding anyone. Just clearing out the front portion of the site. Then Rolling Thunder to push PRX further back. Shorty though! And that's Khelraay cut down by half around the torso. Darion now just marking Forsaken. Still going for the crosshair wiggle. He has an op after all. Will find his target.
Wow,
and then
wow,
for Yudotan
wow,
to slay the rest of PRX down.
Wow,
Crossfires in the end there for Darion and for Yudotan being very patient, not reveal where that operator is posted.
ये वापस 7-5 हो रहा है, ऐसा क्यों दिख रहा है मुझे?
Frag in the round and losing Papi on the smokes as well. You consider, right? Sheer not popped at the front of B. Makes it look a little bit awkward, but 3 versus 3 scenario and you start to feel Spike is
भाई कैसे शॉटी से मरता है यार ऐसा इंसान?
Get the post plant worked. They will. So going into the last round of the half, 5 versus 6, they can definitely look to equalize here.
Especially considering the ultimates at hand as well. Crystal on the Armageddon. PRX though, once again, beginning things with huge rubble control. All 4 pushing down.
A little bit more forward.
Like the stream, boys. Like the stream. 2000 like के लिए 3000 like चाहिए. Like the stream, put.
To play potentially by himself and get a little bit of a rotate on because the Arc Rose has just confirmed a bit of presence around the mound. And this is Global Esports looking to get into the C site earlier. There's no dimensional drift for something. There's no thorns anymore around the site either, and no Steel Garden for Device. So you're really playing on the back of maybe a combination of Nightfall and Showstopper here.
Devi playing super far back as well. Second Thorns tripped, but he has
Injun
no
B
idea.
clear करने जा रहे हैं.
They're in the site.
Will they check? अच्छा वो लोग पीछे से retake कर रहे हैं.
Just destroyed back towards Mound.
पूरा C easily मिल गया. Crystal का ult
It's got to
है.
be the Nightfall, it's got to be the Showstopper, but Global, I mean, they could potentially even try to remove a member before the spike plant goes down. I was just talking about them needing to do something like this.
Oh boy, Yudotan playing with the op around Mound as well. The Nightfall will go through though to fight for the double kill. That's Yudotan now. Showstopper kind of pushing as well, but the wall bank shots from Jing. He's got walls. Off to the next one though, it's Crystal with the Armageddon, but as it goes out, PRX just happy to swarm back in off the timing. Just Yudotan and he's alone. A soul tango and it's
भाई वापस पिछले मैप वाला half. Is this a GG?
7-5 though for PRX.
Is this a GG?
Able to win that one on a retake. Pretty good. The rocket goes wayward, but I mean, I think this is probably my most common statement now in this video.
भाई तेरा height क्या है?
Stunned the cosmetic. How is he getting that kill through the wall? Stunned.
Exactly भाई. Stunned से भाई मार रहे यार लोग.
It doesn't matter if you have the skill to
खत्म है game. खत्म है.
Shake it up.
FiES or Global Esports get, I guess. I am sad to say, but I guess this is the end. तो अभी ये स्टेज का जी का रन खत्म.
हाँ ये स्टेज का खत्म.
अब अगला स्टेज तो मतलब चैंपियंस का चांस तो गया.
अगला स्टेज सामने की टीम पता है क्या?
कौन कौन है?
भाई
नहीं कैसे पता है यार, ड्रॉस तो अब तक नहीं आए. हाँ मैं ये बोल रहा था
कैसे चमन हो
क्या,
कैसे ड्रॉ नहीं आए
फिर
भाई मैं बताता हूँ तुमको.
हाँ नहीं जो भी है चैंपियंस तो अभी नहीं जा पाएंगे मेरे हिसाब से.
चैंपियंस नहीं जा पाएंगे.
अगला जो स्टेज है वो एकदम ही फाड़ू खेलना पड़ेगा तब जाके जा पाएंगे शायद. बूम DRX जेंजी T1 ऐसा लिखा है चैट में.
हाँ दूसरे वालों के साथ खेलेंगे. पहला वाला एक ग्रुप के साथ, दूसरा वाला दूसरे ग्रुप के साथ, समझ रहे हो? ऐसा होता है. उन लोग के साथ होगा ना मैच.
भाई एक्चुअली ऐसा देखा जाए ना तो सारे ग्रुप जमापुर है.
नहीं टीम तो सारी जमापुर हो गई है जब से बूम खेलना चालू करी है. सिर्फ एक टीम है जिससे जीत सकते हैं वो टीम सीक्रेट.
भाई बूम तो कुत्ता बना रही है यार. नहीं ज़ेटा के अगेंस्ट भी जीत सकती है.
भाई उस दिन ज़ेटा ने 2-0 कर दिया.
किसको?
अरे कोई तो अच्छी टीम को 2-0 किया ज़ेटा ने.
Would love to see something.
नहीं अच्छी टीम को नहीं पर जीती ज़ेटा उतना पता.
But currently I think it's a share shot onto Crystal who has to fall back.
Now we get into just the mid-round of this one. And what PRX is going to be able to figure out is a trap play on the camera and flash, but can't do anything in terms of kills.
और वो भी 4-13.
Stave off PRX from any aggression. Get them to draw out some of the
abilities.
To be fair, the paint shells being brought out by Jing works good for Global. They don't have to contend with that.
Okay, macro
ज़ेटा में मीटियर का भाई है कौन बे?
पैसा बाहर आ रहे हैं. Right now, PRX still looking to break their way through. That's it though. Yudotan, he's anchoring down the site. 2 kills found, and he's looking for a third as well. Jing narrowly dodging out with his life intact. Khelraay then looking for a potential flank around. PRX looking for
कनेक्टर पुश कर रहे हैं, कनेक्टर में कोई नहीं है, ब्रीच के पीछे 2 जन आने वाले, क्या उसको स्मेल आएगी?
Khelraay is still hiding in wait.
आ गई
Darian now for the next kill.
Nice.
Swings out then Khelraay for the first.
Nice. भाई पिस्टल जीत गए, क्या बात है?
Yeah, they're first of the series as well, of course. Both of them going in the way of PRX in map number 1. The first one of this one going to PRX as well. But then it's always been that second round that you kind of consider. Would Global Esports manage to get back with the force stingers or not? They don't need to worry about that now, as they will potentially, well, they should tie things up 7 apiece before we get the guns back and started in this half.
You just said don't be scary. Like the player?
कौन चिल्ला रहा है इतना?
I don't want him to be like scary.
I know.
He was good.
He's saying you don't want Forsaken to be like scary.
Don't be scared. I think more importantly right now, Darion not scared to take a duel, dispatching of Forsaken first. He first fell in the last round, first falling in this one as well, and it should be hunky-dory for Global Esports to tie up.
Bro, he satcheled in with the
diving in with the Bucky. Will take a kill down. Bulldog picked up, looking for some suppressive fire.
भाई Darion का sniper goated है आज है.
Yeah, happy with that.
We'll do that.
बहुत value निकालता है वो जब भी लेता है.
Over, and Jing to try to play around these tight corners with the Bucky still. Something though, attempting at peaks. Got the fake out with some footsteps over, and PRX just dwindling around, dawdling around, just around these corners.
Dwindling along, dawdling along.
Begin to flood in.
Nice.
Batman finds the first shot, traded by a stinger. Now just Jing. He's got 1 kill on the Bucky so far.
ऊपर
Unfortunately,
नीचे,
the paint
nice.
shells in his face, with Crystal jumping up on top as well. Global.
PRX is the only good Asian team in my opinion.
It's always a scenario in the heat of those moments as well that a lot of players don't vertically
only
look
good
up
Asian
onto
team in my
opinion. From above, but hey, an aspect there that works.
Your opinion is very old.
Some damage done, yeah.
अभी बहुत danger teams आ गई है.
That'll have a bit of impact.
PRX से next level की team आ गई है.
That'll be the bonus round for them.
Boom Esports को देखोगे येड़ बग जाएगी.
What that does kind of look like for PRX now on this attacking side, if they are able to, you know, win the round that they should be winning, quote unquote.
Thank you so much for the 40 rupees, Path Bhai.
More rounds, especially with the economy not too healthy on the side of Global. But that said,
lol, your opinion doesn't matter. ऐसा rudely मत behave करो यार, प्यार से बात करो ना.
Well, Jing possibly looking to dive onto players again, but also
nice
control now coming up from Global Esports. You got the aftershock being sent through.
वो 2 मार दिया B पे. Are you serious?
2 kills by Pillar.
भाई इतना मस्त सैंडविच हो जाता है यार.
Around the door as well. He preps the button. He does get the third, but quickly traded by Khelraay. Crystal and the rest of them also looking to flood back into the B site.
Good bonus, good bonus, good bonus.
Forsaken, quick on the draw.
I mean, I don't know if that one's the actual W gaming to come through from PRX, but they certainly were looking to turn up the pace in terms of all of those duels around the map. And I mean, mound control, I'm looking at, you know, Forsaken
भाई आप बहुत pro हो, लेकिन immortal क्यों नहीं हो?
You saw him pull out just before the switch of
कोच होते ना कोच, मैं एक कोच हूँ एक सीक्रेट टीम का VCT में, तो कोचेस को अलाउड नहीं होता है हाई रैंक होने का. That's the real deal.
So those are the rounds that you just need to weather and play in amongst the chaos there.
Something पर बहुत ही खराब नहीं खेल रहा है इस भाई.
And for PRX, they already claimed the lead.
अगर वो खेल रहा होता तो साला अभी तक एक राउंड नहीं मिलता.
Will they be expecting the operator for Darion? Nobody up through the guts of mid. That's some good information for Global. And now they should know that PRX have got in towards this C site and set up for a post plant.
Yeah, Yudotan and the rest of them backing all the way far off as well. Jing, a lot of space taken up around Hall now, and that allows them to put this one way up. Another smoke up towards Waterfall as well.
Rolling Thunder for Khelraay could be quite pivotal here.
Gets into range. He's looking to deploy at the right time for the rest of his team to then be the catalyst to push on through. Darion with the first shot. Something gets taken out. The rest of PRX, though, vacating the site to try to play around instead. Sent over as well, but Aftershock taking Jing out of the equation. Now PRX
nice defuse, nice defuse.
Beautiful. Around the diffuser. They will do just that, but still, Global Esports with the numbers looking to dominate and push on through. Some semblance of global domination in round 15.
I don't know if I call that one domination. That was very hairy.
चड्डी फट गई थी भाई, चड्डी फट गई थी.
I mean, the trades that start to come
भाई लेकिन पैसा बहुत बेकार है.
The Aftershock tag on towards his body when he's trying to get out those paint shells as well and just couldn't disconnect from all of the action. I mean, it's always a risky thing to try and go for a full mound post-plant control situation. PRX, I mean, they put it on the back of Forsaken to try and win that one, but Yudotan just there for the trades from above time and time again. And we will equalize up.
Nice. Well played.
Economy of PaperX, who have an option to do something funny yet again here.
Heretics कुत्ता बना रही है. उनका Apex के साथ था ना?
Steel Garden, Nightfall.
भाई Fnatic अच्छा खेल रही है भाई ये वाला season. Hell nah.
Oh, drop Jing with a Bucky again too.
Good kiss there.
This time in towards A-Link, where with a Bucky in the spot, you know, Poppy and the likes of Khelraay, they're gonna have to think twice before pushing into this area.
But that's a good paranoia.
It hits, but you're not gonna peek into it. How could you, knowing that there could be a Bucky on the other side? And now Khelraay unfortunately getting taken out by that op, picked up by Davai as well. Just Yudotan, who is really in any good position to do something, but he's smoked off as well.
I mean, as long as Davai is keeping this operator into the next round, it does not matter who dies for PaperX here. If they steal away any of the guns that had fallen onto the floor, okay, you want that player surviving. But it kind of doesn't matter anymore. PaperX are just going to be answering back into this round. Maybe ending it with a flawless. I mean, the Hunter's a little bit on towards Yudotan because the credits are absent for Global. Any escape kill here will hurt. But I don't think they're going to happen unless Forsaken gets him. No, it's okay. So not flawless in a complete sense for PaperX, but the way that the round essentially should have gone there, they did it flawlessly, right? The investment of the Nightfall, just getting in towards that site, getting the shot onto Darion, looking, I think, unscoped at that current time, right? And then the Bucky here just straight towards Crystal's face.
Yeah, both teams having some instances where they do kind of push out a little bit too far.
मुझे कुछ नहीं लग रहा है, मुझे बोलने नहीं आता.
This is going to be now PaperX 9-8. That was a little bit of a thrifty round, by the way. Global Esports now with a slightly weaker weaponry.
Gotta get all this information, gotta answer back.
Good blind.
Global, you can't do anything on this combo utility, or can you? You're trying!
Off to the shorty, Yudotan has arrived as well now, but doesn't quite have the angles just yet. Looking for the spray transfers, but it's just Jing with the Bucky! He's found 3 kills! Crystal though, Sheriff shot.
1v1 है 1v2 है.
Davai has been suppressed, but all he needs to do is to just lock down this angle.
They can just run. They can just run to the C site. There's nobody home to welcome them with milk and cookies. They can just set up.
भाई वो blind कैसे हो गया था यार? हट.
And pick up an R, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, get Jing closer towards this showstopper with a plant. He's one away. Crystal though, an opportunity if you can find a 1 versus 1 to make this somewhat doable. Salvo's online, an Armageddon. Maybe
you could like flood the whole site with that entire.
10 हो गया यार.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
you know there's an op in play, potentially as well. But well, yeah, okay. Jing's got the.
Bro, he thinks the op is long.
Angle. That's just pink mist from Davai. Quickly finding it.
Double digits for PaperX, and I'm really excited to see this replay for Jing. It's just
3K
dancing around with the Bucky.
We had a Bucky ace from Mr. Frala and EMEA, and now we've got Jing doing these things. Oh, they were all flashed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the utility that came through from Global Esports in the beginning of that, right? Dimensional Drift, you got fault line, you got flashes and everything. But I think it's the counter utility from PaperX that makes that one a little bit better.
वही मुझे भी नहीं समझा भाई.
We're in a sort of scenario where if this gun round
अच्छा मेरे को लगा था अच्छा भाई ट्रैप कर लिए ले उनको.
Cast your mind back to the fact that they used both timeouts early in the first half.
And through the one-way smoke as well. Timeoutless Global Esports. Can they find a way back into this game? It's a 4v5 in this current round.
And your Sentinel player is now down as well, so there is an open option for PaperX to find around the map to just get in free of charge.
Right, weaker hold across the sites, and well, PaperX goes for the call into B, where it is open. We've got Jing now watching the angles towards A-Link as well. The back of B also blocked off.
Khelraay was attempting something
but now no longer able.
भाई जाके मार रहे भाई अबे यार टाइम आउट लो.
Gotta save. You do not have the money to be splashing in on this game as Global. It's just going to be another impactful scenario by PaperX that really looks Global 6 feet under, doesn't it? This will be 11 for PaperX, and you got to consider, do we force on the back of these 2 guns as Global, or do we half buy to potentially have a full buy and push us into overtime? These situations in any game are usually quite hurtful, but when you add on the fact, Quack, that if Global won this series, they'd be in playoffs for the first time ever. Kind of hurts a little bit more, right? This is the culmination of the losses in the previous series now that they are put in this scenario.
Well, consolation frag for Crystal at the very least, but you are absolutely right, Komodo.
Timeout बचा ही नहीं है. अबे बचा है.
At this point, Global, they're going to begin to feel like they
दो
just have to keep
bro,
buying
what in the
up.
world
They're
was that
just
shot?
gonna have to scrounge up the best buy that they've got together.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Dinos, they've just gone global.
Yeah, I mean, we've really seen just consistency after consistency from nearly every series.
अबे अच्छा जी का नहीं बचा, PRX का बचा है, बनता है.
Involved in a lot of these duels, winning them significantly.
Picking up slack where, you know, maybe something might not be performing too hot.
I mean, something has not made it quiet that it doesn't really favor the Yoru, for example. It's still really learning.
Right now, at least, though, Jing, okay, getting taken out really quickly, but right there, it's going to be Forsaken, his brother, right off alongside him. With that, then, a little bit more space into this A site, the smokes to block off a link.
Yeah.
Heaven, though, then, is open, but Forsaken just uses that as an opportunity! Swings out, 2 more kills, looks for the last, and he picks up the 4K!
I mean, you could see the idea on the back of Crystal's mind there as well, holding out the Armageddon, ready for the team to flood, but just not expecting just the absolute charge that Forsaken brings into it. He now as well will meet with 20 kills. There's 3 members of PRX that have 20 kills on the map, and 2 of them haven't even achieved 10 yet. Sometimes it is an effort by committee, sometimes it's just a full house affair, and it looks like PRX, I mean, they've just got a read on the deck.
जी अगर एक भी मैच जीत जाते,
primed to take this map down. Global Esports.
टाइम पास करने आए.
भाई लोग 2 लाइक चाहिए यार 1000 के लिए. कौन लाइक नहीं किया बंदा है?
Punch and swing back. Oh, instant TP from Forsaken.
Cheeky. Real cheeky. Crystal.
उसको expect Crystal check कर रहा है पीछे.
They're still looking to lock down Rubble at the very least, though, Darian, watching the off angle. Clone broken instant
Okay, Yoru
TP's out.
TP किया stairs पे.
Forsaken now.
Oh, that will be a huge flash.
Come through in this scenario. Is Khelraay ever expect that?
Nah, ये अल्टे का कुछ फायदा ही नहीं.
Khelraay put in the body bag.
Nah,
now PRX
bro, this is
flooding
bad,
up front. The full march forwards into the site.
Okay.
Yudotan not bad on a bit of a refrag off towards Heaven, but that
is where you pivot. That is where you pivot as PRX towards the B site. No one else is there currently. You did just see Yudotan in a reposition from Papi.
Yudotan quick to Heaven. But so far, none of the PRX players visible. Paranoia as well, but it's just Jing on the site. Divai has an op as well, which isn't necessarily the best tool. Doesn't have the utility placed down. Smokes out now from Poppy to get the spike stuck to possibly halfway. The swing from something not effective. Oh, and the angle for Divai not the most favorable either. A good quad kill from Yudotan to bring Global back to life.
I mean, when Papi puts the dark cover on that spike, he doesn't need to move, so the Thorns aren't really going to do anything in that sort of scenario. Yudotan to just stand tall.
Chat पिछले कितने
really
सालों से
deep. I mean, I highlighted it a little bit earlier in the previous map, right? The Yudotan, it felt like he was almost completely absent in that map. So.
VCT फ्रेंचाइजी हुए कितना टाइम हुआ है? कितने टाइम से अपन जी को देख रहे हैं फ्रेंचाइजी स्लॉट में?
Again, GE, it was 4 chances that PRX had to close out this map. Now it's 3, so at least afforded some more length in this map.
Confidence with the op as well from Darian, but not quite landing the shot now. Instant TP's out. Seaside has been completely open by something on this dimensional drift.
Scoping out the opposition.
वही बे तभी अभी इतना बुरा नहीं लगता है ना. पहले माँ कसम बीटी हो जाता था. अभी आदत हो गई है. Sadly.
Global. It's just big old dry duels.
Yeah, not too much on the util arena as well. Crystal perhaps if the Salvas come back alive, but right now something is a ghost and he's haunting the heck out of them. Nightfall sent over.
Nice quality.
Trying to drag them down into the depths, but Darian to bring some light to his team. The op shot fired over. Something holding the angle. Jing now from Waterfall on an off angle, but the shot's not quite connecting for him. Just a Vi. David looks for the flicks. He gets the spray transfer at the end. The clutch with wings brought to you by Red Bull at the end of it all, but nonetheless, the map closed out at 13-9.
And that made
wow.
खेला bro दवाई. चल इस लाला सिया.
दर्श भाई.
हाँ.
तो डायरेक्ट कैब से जाते हैं अगर ये टाइम निकल रहे तो मैं तो बोलता.
हाँ वही 1 घंटा ही है अभी बस 1 घंटे में के पहुंच जाएंगे अपन.
मैं क्या बोलता तो उधर मिलने का भांडू पंपिंग पे या डायरेक्ट जाने का है?
मिलते ना किधर बीच में तुम बताओ किधर मिलना है
ना वहाँ पे मिलते हैं और फिर वहाँ से एक साथ जाते हैं.
ठीक है शॉर्ट. ठीक है, मेरे को टेक्स्ट करो, ठीक है?
निकलते 10 मिनट में।
हाँ 10 मिनट में निकल रहे बाय।
ठीक है 15 मिनट बाय।
हाँ ठीक है, मैं नहा के आता हूँ।
अगरे
हाँ तो बस 5 मिनट लगेगा ना। चलिस।
कहाँ जा रहे हो? आज हम लोग जा रहे हैं कॉन्सर्ट को। फुल अय्याशी कर रहे हैं हम लोग। घूमते रहो, स्ट्रीम मत करो साले। एक भी दिन स्ट्रीम मिस किया क्या? पादरे व्लॉग बनाएंगे, व्लॉग डालेंगे, एंजॉय। अल्टॉर किसके कॉन्सर्ट पे? अरे वर्ल्ड रीयूनियन कॉन्सर्ट है, उसमें नास परफॉर्म करने वाला है भाई। जी यार बहुत बड़ा ये क्या उसे कहते हैं?
Tens will be happy, right? He wanted them to get the win, right? You know?
Yeah, I can imagine right across this stage right now. But yes, PRX. I mean, they've had some highs, they've had some lows, and right now, beginning to come back up to a high. Certainly has been a bit more of a riveting, more convincing performance this week. No longer do we see them to map 3.
Yeah, I mean, they fight off the curse of the map number 1, right? Split 13-5, close that one out 13-9.
जी को भी पिक कर लेना। हाँ अभी उन लोग को ही पिक करके जाऊंगा, अभी लेके जाऊंगा। क्या है यार चैट? क्या BTS चलता है? चलो देखते हैं। ओ भाई पैटमैन को लिए ले। आजा बात कर पैटमैन। हेलो 1000 लाइक की करीब है, लाइक मारिस।
페이퍼렉스의 팬맨 선수
릴 나스 엑스 नहीं भाई।
알파 그룹의 마지막 플레이오프 진출권은 페이퍼렉스가 오늘 가져가게 됐는데요. 팬맨 선수가 합류하고 나서 가는 첫 플레이오프인 만큼 오늘 경기 소감이랑 진출 소감 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Oh wow, this is the first playoffs that you will be going to since joining PRX. You guys got the last ticket to the playoffs for Group Alpha. How are you feeling about the match and going to the playoffs?
I'm so glad that we find a spot for the playoffs. Actually, we really trained hard for the couple last week. And because of the first week when I'm practicing with the boys, I'm really lost. Like there's protocols and calls and I didn't know. But right now, I think I catch up with the boys and I just do like what I need to help them to win the match.
Giving the best support you can. 자, 아무래도 플레이오프 진출하게
भाई लेकिन बुरा लगता है कि PRX वो वाले फॉर्म में खेलती नहीं है जैसा पहले खेलती थी। मतलब ऐसा हो गया ना कि PRX का कुछ सीन नहीं है, बाकी टीम्स बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग बन गई है।
안 그래도 가장 듣고 싶었던 게 워낙 탄탄한 인기를 이렇게 받고 있는 페이퍼렉스기에 거기에 적응하는 것도 부담이 많이 됐을 텐데 또 플레이오프의 여정이 순조롭진 않았거든요. 그런 부담감을 좀 어떻게 이겨냈는지 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. I did want to ask you, since joining PRX, such a love team, that must have been enough pressure on its own. But then to get used to such a tightly knit team when the journey wasn't the smoothest, how was that like? How did you overcome it?
Of course, like, what did I say from the past interview? Like, I didn't expect to become part of PRX, and there's like too much pressure on me as well. But what I just like mindset is that there's no time to be scared. There's no time to be shy, and I'm playing with one of the best, so it means I'm also one of the best.
Yeah, I love that. I love that energy. 처음에 예전에 프레스 인터뷰에 언급했듯이 제가 팬맨 선수가 페이퍼렉스의 일원이 될 거라고 상상을 못했다고 이야기를 했는데요. 하지만 이렇게 두렵고 어떡하지 발동동하는 것보다 이렇게 최고의 선수들과 함께라는 건 나도 최고라는 뜻이 아닌가라고 생각하면서 적응하면서 이겨내고 있다고 했습니다. 근데 또 이야기를 들어보니까 팬맨 선수가 스테이지 1 퍼시픽에 이렇게 합류하게 되면서 집을 되게 필리핀을 많이 그리워하고 있다고 하는데 가장 그리워하는 게 뭔지 좀 들어보고 싶기도 한데요. I heard that you're pretty homesick. You miss the Philippines a lot. What is it that you miss the most? Is it the food or anyone, family?
I think just my family. Yeah, like because before, like even I'm not staying at home a lot, I can still like go back anytime, right? But right now I cannot. That's why I miss my family. Yeah. And it's my first time abroad, maybe that's why.
Oh yeah, that's one, right? 아무래도 가족들이 가장 보고 싶고 필리핀에 있었을 땐 뭐 함께 살지 않더라도 볼 수 있었지만 아무래도 해외
He's a goatee gamer, bro. Wow. Beautiful. Mouse speed. Oh, jet थी. Wow. What a cabinet. थोड़ा सा मैस है. अभी हाल चेटअप लिया है. नाइस. स्टूडेंट हर्ष भाई, पैसे नहीं है तो ये क्या झाड़ से निकाल के लाया है? पैसे नहीं है भाई. स्टिकी नोट पे क्या लिखा है? और लाइक कर दे यार. अभी क्लासेस 15 मिनट का ब्रेक मिला, आपकी स्ट्रीम खोल ली और क्लासेस वजह से वैलो भी नहीं खेल पाता हूँ. अब लास्ट जब खेला था डायमंड 3 था. ओके बाय द वे, अगर अभी तुम लोग निकलने वाले हो यहाँ से, याद रखना कि रात में अमेरिकास की स्ट्रीम होगी. क्या कायडाई मेरी स्ट्रीम देख रही है? चैट इज दिस रियल और फाके? कायडे मेरी क्यों स्ट्रीम देख रही है चैट? ये देखो क्या बोला इधर आने के लिए. एक्चुअली मेरे को एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोजेक्ट करने का है, प्लीज़ मुझे जाने दो. मेरा ये प्रोजेक्ट करना बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैं घर पे बोल के आया हूँ, प्लीज़ खास इस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए. मेरे घर पे पीसी नहीं है, प्लीज़ मुझे बैठने दो यहाँ पे. कम ऑन भाई, पढ़ लो यार. टेंस भाई ने वो ये किया होगा बराबर. कुरे मका सुरसुरे कुरकुरे रे कुरकुरे. पीक रैंक डैश, पीक रैंक नाउ. क्या? अच्छा रैंक राइट नाउ. और ये क्या पढ़ रहा है चैट? ये कौन सी पढ़ाई है ये? ब्रो ये क्या है? जिस हिसाब से ये पढ़ाकू गेमर है उस हिसाब से असेंडेंट लग रहा है. अभी उसका असेंडेंट छोड़ दे फिर. इतना अच्छा सेटअप, इतना अच्छा माउस और गोल्ड 1 है अभी. शर्म पे शर्म चड्डी गरम. व्हाट्सअप. क्या बात है, क्या बात है. दाल खिचड़ी गेम प्ले. टू मच वायरस, सजेस्ट अ फिक्स टू इट. माउस का नहीं यार, माउस का तो दिखेगा. कीबोर्ड का छुपाने का एक ऑप्शन रहता है कि टेबल के बीच में होल कर दो, लेकिन तेरा ग्लास वाला टेबल है तो तू नहीं छुपा सकता. दैट्स द थिंग. नोट में कैलेंडर बनाया था, क्या बात है. क्लीन. ठीक है. मट्ठा मट्ठा. W चेटअप ब्रो. W फूड. W चेटअप. फर्स्ट स्किन भाई वन ऑफ द बेस्ट. थोड़ा बहुत सीन है पीसी के पीक. वेंटिलेटर पे चल रहा है पीसी और थोड़ा बहुत सीन है बोलता है. वाओ ब्यूटीफुल ब्यूटीफुल चेटा. डीमन स्लेयर चेटा. चलो भाई लोग, एक्चुअली अभी निकलना पड़ेगा मुझे, लेकिन रात में होगी वीसीटी अमेरिकास की वॉच पार्टी. ठीक है ना? तो आ जाना सब लोग टाइम पे वीसीटी अमेरिकास देखने के लिए. क्रेजी मैचेस होने वाले हैं आज. आज किसका मैच है? आज अमेरिकाज में है चेंटिनल्ले वर्सेस 2GE का, और है क्रू वर्सेस अनरित्यूज। क्रू वर्सेस अनरित्यूज बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग मैच होगा, तो आना जरूर रात में। Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, make sure to subscribe. If you guys haven't yet checked out, नया टी-शर्ट कल आया है हमारा रश बी, और जिसके पीछे लिखा है लॉक-इन। ये पफ प्रिंटेड है, तुम लोग चेक कर सकते हो। एक्सक्लेमेशन अल्ट F4 पे। लिमिटेड स्टॉक है, जो रीस्टॉक नहीं होगा, तो फटाफट चेकआउट करो और जल्दी से उठाओ, नहीं तो फिर चलेगा। आर्यन थैंक यू फॉर द 20 रुपीज। आज सेकंड लाइव चैनल पर लाइव थोड़ा मुश्किल लग रहा है, बट देखते हैं, मैं अपडेट कर दूंगा जरूर। तब तक थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग। होप यू गाइस एंजॉयड। इफ यू डिड, मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब। मिलते हैं अपन अगले स्ट्रीम में। बाय बाय, टेक केयर एंड सी यू द गेमिंग गॉडी चैनल ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमिकल टाइम्स। बाय।